edition here at Round One Sports TV. I'm always your host, Edwin, where the wall fights start. Round one. So, we got a lot to talk about boxing. We saw a lot of fighting last night. I hope you could hear me loud and clear out there. So, let me know that you could hear me. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just check it on my right here. Give me 1 second here. I just want to check this out. All right. Let me see if this plays all the way. Let's see what that sounds like. Mm, that sounds good. Sounds kind of low though. Oh, I got it. So, all right, we're good. Lots to talk about boxing. We saw a lot of fights last night. Uh, yeah, that's pretty good. What's up, Frontline? How you doing in the building? Just wanted to make sure that my audio was good for all you viewers out there. Make sure that you guys can hear me loud and clear. So, anyway, fight fans, we were talking yesterday. What's up? Sounds low and clear. All right. So, let's see here. Okay. So, I put on these like these settings. So let me see if I could work with this before I turn them off. I could perhaps turn up the mic like right in here. I could turn that up a little. I hopefully that improved it because I'm not trying to take off compression and all that other stuff. So frontline, it just let me know if that improved it just a little bit, slightly, or am I going to have to take off these other new features? But I thought it would give me a clearer voice, a better sound. So I'm trying this right now. Hey, I'm always trying to improve around here, you know. So anyway. But we saw some interesting fights last night. There were a lot of fights all over the place. If you're into the UFC kicked off a card. Women's boxing kicked off a card. Clarissa Shields became a world champion again, jumped down 30 pounds. I found it funny yesterday, right, as I was tuning in. Now, I paid for the DAZN app. I don't fire stick or anything, and I'm not better than anybody. It just works out for me because I'm a boxing podcaster. So they kind of bend my arm in order to buy it because I would have to watch the majority of these fights. So, to each his own. I'm not saying anything about it. But on the Zone app itself, the one that's streaming, the professional one that I pay for, you guys saw my short? You saw my short where they try to like put Clarissa Shields 24 years old, and whether or not it was a human error, you know, you could look at that and say, wait a minute, the other lady's 42 years old. They might have just 42 and 24. Somebody might have just got the number messed up in their head, right? But it was funny to see because any casual fan or anybody buying the fight, they don't know much about Clarissa. Maybe they're coming into the first time we're watching her fight. Well, last night on a world stage, they said she was 24 years old, right? Okay. Didn't we laugh at the UFC when they made what? Shakur Stevenson, a basketball player? According to the UFC, Terrence Crawford is Kendrick Lamar. They had Kendrick Lamar's name and they were showing Terrence Crawford. So, Kendrick Lamar is a bad motherfucker, bro. He's a three-division world champion. You know what I mean? So they've gotten these kind of things wrong. So, hey, I said all of that to say this. When you hear Round One Sports Talk, mess up a name or do something, don't get all over me, man. Even the pros mess up. All right? Let's talk some boxing. Listen, so Clarissa Shield goes out there, right? And shout out to the women and everything and everybody that was in attendance. They went in, they showed up for the GOAT, allegedly the GOAT. What this is what she's a self-proclaimed best female champion in the world. She just um has the type of resume that truly can be like, rifled through real fast, right? Like really, really fast. And some people wouldn't like that, right? And I'm an American, so why would I come out and say something about our American champion in Clarissa Shields? And I don't want to. But I also don't want to send out a false message. Just because she's an American female champion, what that makes I can't speak the truth for what I really feel about, she has 19 belts. She was a 19 belt champion. You guys do know that 11 of those titles were vacated titles she fought for. She didn't beat any champions for those 11 belts. That's a huge part of her legacy. 11 belts were all vacated. She had 3 knockouts leading into the fight last night. Her rise to 3 divisions, all 4 belts. Some of the belts that were in there, but we didn't say anything. They weren't the real belts. They were minor belts snuck in there. There was another champion in the division that had the real belt. Meaning, like, she won 3 real belts and one David the Monster Benavidez belt, the interim. You know what I'm saying? And it really didn't. She wasn't supposed to connect in that division. She wasn't supposed to be given undisputed status. The people went along with it. They was just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And listen, I'm not here to bash Clarissa Shields. At the end of the day, congratulations. Thank you for everything you do for the female sport. But after a while, you're left with 2 choices: the lie or the truth. Do you continue supporting the lie or the narrative that they put out about her, that she's this woke and all this, like Amanda Serrano ain't about to break the coal miner's daughter's fucking record there? Christy Martin, right? And it's like, listen, oh yeah, Amanda knocked out tomato cans. Really? Well, what did the Clarissa Shields fight? What did she do when she fought tomato cans? Did she knock them out? Because the lady she knocked out last night came off a brain injury. She only had like 7 fights. Oh, you stopped her? You mean the great female GWO that went that many rounds with a girl with brain injury with only 7 fight experience? That's what it took? You see what I'm saying? Like, and then Amanda, women like that, right? Like Katie Taylor and shit. They got real belts. She got real belts in 7 weight divisions. 7 weight divisions. That's crazy. And I'm not sitting here trying to sell you who's the best out of it. I think the best is who you support. If you like Clarissa Shields, I recommend you stay with her. If you like Amanda, I recommend Katie Taylor, any of the girls. Sky, whoever, Nichols, whoever you like as the female girls. I think that the female boxing needs to come together and they need to show their strength. Alicia Bumgarner's taking shots at Clarissa, and this has gotten real crazy all over social media. And as you guys can see, Two Tone be on it. If you guys like that soap opera shit, he say, she say, man, I recommend y'all go over there and check my man out because he does it the best. And they've really been in a feud. Like Two Tone is like taking mad shots at Clarissa, and I mean the gloves have came off. I really think if Clarissa Shields and Two Tone, the superstar, meet in a hallway, there's gonna be some furniture moving, and Two Tone gonna be running. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna see the back of his feet and Clarissa on high pursuit. On high pursuit. All right? You know what I'm saying? Because in order for Two Tone to fuck with Clarissa,
Things
listen,
like
people.
blood flow.
Peptides, peptides. You got that peptides, peptides.
on your side.
He gonna have to get on them goddamn peptides. He gonna have to get on the peptides because he ain't fucking with Clarissa in a hallway, mad with her wig off. All right, that's a mad lady right there. She's gonna beat the brakes off of Tone. Yo, hey yo, and after she beats the brakes off of Tone, Papoose gonna get a couple win too. He gonna get a couple kicks and shit. He two told Mike scrape Papoose. I'm sure I never seen Papoose in a squabble. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But Tone big as shit. You know, and you don't think you could just go and run up on him like that. I don't know what Tone about, bro. I don't know. I look at him, I be like, he look like a big teddy bear type dude. But that motherfucker get mad. Boy, he just start slumping them big fucking haymakers. They might hurt somebody. So I don't know if Papoose can run up on him. I'm not gonna stamp that one. But I know if Papoose steps to the side and let his girl throw her hands, you know what I'm saying? My money's on Clarissa Shields. I'm sorry, Tone. I'm sorry, Tone. She's gonna go hard downstairs to the body. She's gonna drop you, bro. Yo, so like that drama scene is unfolding. But listen, for me to Clarissa Shields, man, congratulations on the victory. The woman stepped in to fight you. You didn't do no easy task. You dropped down 30 or whatever, how many pounds it was, and you still looked pretty good. The girl wasn't there to lay down. That girl was fighting you. She was fighting you to her best of her ability. I can't make her be superwoman in there, right? That's what she had for skills. He fought her. That girl was not trying to like back down. She even suffered a hematoma on the top of her forehead. And she, she was real pretty. She looked like one of them girls that I thought was going to take a punch in the face and fold. She looked too pretty to fight. And she showed she was like, these ain't all looks. She was like, bam, 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 banging out. 42 years old. I had to say, man, that girl looked pretty good for 42 years old. I was like, yo, I see you, right? But Scott's didn't she just didn't have the experience. She was trying to fight Clarissa. Clarissa was just a bit more seasoned than her. She's been around the game, and Clarissa went down there to a better weight division. I think she looks better at the weight, the size and stuff. Now, all about this bikini wearing thing that's going on all over social media. What Clarissa Shield wore to the weigh-in versus Alicia Bumgardner, right? And I thought that dudes were trolling. Seriously, thought dudes were trolling. I was like, bro, these dudes is thirsty as fuck. They over here comparing the two bathing suits. I said, let me go check this out. Let me go check it out, right? I saw Alicia Bungard. She came out in a green one. It looked like a gator. It was like gator like scales, and boom. So that was real unique. It wasn't just a green bathing suit. It wasn't just, going across this way. It had a specific way that it went, the bathing suit. So I said, all right, how much could bathing suits, like what did the fucking Clarissa Shield wear? When I saw what Clarissa Shields wore, right, I was like, no wonder they fucking trolling this. I was like, yo, Clarissa Shields wore the exact same bathing suit, just tan. When I zoomed in on her bathing suit, it was fucking like um alligator like scale and shit. Just like Alicia Bumgarner's. It went the same design. Went around the neck, crossed here, came down, went down. It was like she was trying to prove who pulled it off better, who had the better body type shit. And I'm like, no way are these girls, these ladies actually doing this. You guys are literally like, and one is like saying that she wants to be her so bad. Look, she wore my outfit, and this is a woman's thing, type thing. I thought you ladies hated when someone showed up in the same outfit. Like if I took my girl out in a dress and we went to a place and the girl across from her was wearing the exact same dress, it's over. She's going home. She's gonna go change, right? So why would you want to look like her? She had to know that, like, I don't know if she thought this through. They was gonna say, but I guess she thought in her mind, if I pull it off better. If my body looks better than yours, then the fans will say I wore the dress better. You understand type shit? So, you know, look, look, no matter what you think, reality is reality. Uh Clarissa Shields is not fighting a Bungardner. And I don't think it's because of Clarissa Shield. I think it's because of Bungardner. She's just a smaller weight division, way smaller. Clarissa's never gonna get to her weight. They're just too far apart. And actually, Clarissa is just a bigger girl. You know what I'm saying? When they be like, yo, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Clarissa is a bigger girl. She's stronger. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, when she smacked the shit out of Alicia Bumgarner and she just stood there, it let me know everything I want to know. You know what I'm saying? You can be out and about in a nice residential place, and you don't want to give your people a bad look. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was a really high respected Puerto Rican man and I don't want to go somewhere in that ghetto and I got cameras on me, you got to act accordingly. You know what I'm saying? In some sense and shit, and just have some sense about yourself, right? Uh, so I get that. But once we were in a side room, we weren't out in the big area. The odds of that camera being there, that was like 1 of 1. They got the footage, everything. That's cool. They would have had it. They would have had it. But the environment wasn't like it wasn't like you know everybody was there yet. It was quiet enough so that if we wanted to get it popping, we could have got it popping and got away with it, right? But in a sense, you wouldn't have because that camera was there, so you was bagged. So, but at the same time, that's like if you're a politician. You have to tread, easy in these waters, and every situation is not the same. If you're a politician, or I'm running for fucking mayor, or senator, or something, or I'm a football player in the NFL, or some shit like that, NBA, you're not gonna want to do that. You don't want to give your people a bad look. You don't want to do that. Chill out, right? But you're in a combat sport where we award aggression. We award this shit. This is what fighters do. We smack each other on stage, push each other on stage, throw fucking dollies at fucking windows on buses. These are fighters. So in her situation, she's a fighter. Anything to promote the next fight. If you really wanted to fight me and I had no intimidation here, I wasn't scared of you. Let me tell you something. If you smack me, all the bets are off. All bets are off, right? We rocking and rolling right there, win, lose, or draw, right? So, because I'm a fighter, when I had to admit right there, Bumgarner got smacked and she didn't do shit, and it was like it's not like um you can say, oh, she was outnumbered, bro. All she had was Papoose. She had Papoose' ass right there, and when she threw the smack, Papoose, you saw he started walking away. Right? He was letting her handle that. So, like, it's not like she stepped to her with an entourage or anything like that. So I was like, man, now it looks like Clarissa Shields being a bully now. Now it looks like just a bigger girl, you know what I'm saying, picking on a little girl. You know what I'm saying? Big girl with skills picking on a little girl with skills. Both of them got skills. You know, um, that doesn't necessarily count Alicia Bungard out of a fight. Like I'm pretty sure that if they allowed it to continue and Clarissa Shields attacked Alicia Bumgarner, she's gonna do what she's trained to do. And if she catches her with a knife, you never know what happened. And we see Clarissa Shields on the floor, but that's just a hypothetical. I just think that Clarissa Shields, no, she's a lot bigger. She might not have a lot of knockouts, but boy, she punch hard. And Bumgarner knows that. She knows that. See, Clarissa Shield knows how to throw a punch. She's trained to throw a punch. Anybody that is trained to throw the punch with all your torque and all your might, take that glove off if you want to. She's gonna hurt Alicia Bumgarner. She's gonna hurt her with those shots. So I don't think that fight ever happens. And you know what? I don't think that it's neither of the ladies' fault. Neither of them are ducking neither of them. This is just a case of nature. God made you slightly bigger and you slightly smaller. You want to blame something? Then take it up with Jesus. I don't know what to tell you, but I don't think that Alicia Bumgarner should blimp up all that much weight just to please the masses. And what? Clarissa Shields is going to be what? Replenished in all her glory? Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I don't know about that shit. I don't think that era fight. But anyway, shout out to the ladies, man. You know, they're for holding it down. They're always doing their thing. Um, and there was more fights too on that card. You saw Troy's Isley. He fought Hicks. You know, they were cute, cool as like fighters coming up. You know what I'm saying? They was like buddy buddy and shit. I don't know what happened. I don't know the background. You know, I don't follow Troy Isley or Hicks like that. To be like, yeah, I know like the background on where they, you know, had this feud or whatever, because I missed it. I didn't know, I don't know nothing about that. But they had a fight last night, a pretty decent fight, you know what I'm saying? And then Miguel Cotto had a fight card. I tuned into that fight card. I saw the Miguel Cotto fight card. There was some interesting fights on that card. That kid with the yellow streak, the two Puerto Ricans that was fighting, man, man, frontline, man. I wish he was up here right now and he would tell me these young men's remind me of what their names were, because I just saw them for the first time last night. And the kid was winning, man. The one with the yellow side, he was bad, bad. He had a back and he walked into a shot, bro, got knocked out. Yo, he got laid out. I was like, 1 minute I'm like watching, like, because I was watching three screens. I'm watching three fight cards at the same time. I had the Clarissa Shield up here, I had the Miguel Cotto over here, and I had the UFC down there. So I'm watching all the fights, and all of a sudden I'm seeing them like, bah, 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 bah. I'm like, oh shit, he's getting pieced up, and boom, nowhere. Homeboy got leveled, like, oh, and I was like, ain't that a bitch, right? What's his name? Oh, oh, yeah, ain't no goat being a woman like that. Well, look, man, listen. Clarissa Shields is a strong woman. Uh, and then some people will say, why you want to hate on her, or why don't you would just want to give her the respect as the GOAT? You know what I mean? And or they try to say, well, then let's split it, type shit, or some shit like that. And I'm just saying that she did some pretty incredible things in the sport of boxing, but Clarissa Shield doesn't have enough fights, to tell you the truth. In the women's division, it's very fairly terribly easy for women's to get 4 belts, 3 belts, because there's not a lot of women in the division. When she won her alleged 4 belts in her third weight division, you got to remember at the time when she signed up to the division, there were 11 girls in the entire division. 11 girls. On the night she fought, there was 15 girls. It had made it up to 15. So there were only 15 women in the entire world registered in that division. Uh, and then it's like miraculously, all the belts, put all the belts on the line on one fight on your first fight in the division type shit. You fight for one and then three mysteriously appear. So you don't think that's staged. You don't think that's more given. Like, oh shit, she's the first woman up here. All the organizations rush to be a part of the fight. Yeah, we'll let all the belts be on the line. Who'd she win for those belts? What did she do to get them? And you see, and it seems like people want to ignore that. You fought 11 vacant world titles. 11 out of the 19 you won. That means 8 of them you competed for or you defended. Because we'll give you. So she might, if I look up even further, she probably defended some of those belts. And if you look at the bulk of her reign, she didn't beat any female champions. For those belts, for that bulk, not the other female champions that she fought. Okay, because she fought a couple female champions. Yes, Clarissa Shields has fought female champions, and she did fight a female champion for her belt. Yes, yes, but too far in between. Like Amanda went out there and fought bodies, girls, other women for those belts. She climbed and fought in 7 divisions, and she fought another woman there. They didn't make up something and say, "Hey, tonight you're gonna." Well, you know what? The title's on the line. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to fight it. No, we're just gonna put it on the line. We know you're gonna win. Trust me. 11 times she did that. We have a problem in men's sport with that. If you don't fight somebody for a belt and you're emailed the belt, or you fight for a vacant belt, they don't want to give you any credit in the men's divisions. Xander fought for a vacant belt. They said, nope, he didn't fight a champion. I was like, damn, bro. At least he fought for another person. It was just vacant. There was no champion behind that. So how do you know his competition was champion worthy? How about if they just put you in there with a tomato can and the night is set up for you to become the champion? Padded records. We've seen those before. It's not. So getting a world title as a female, you have a better odds, as you could see last night. Mexico down bad. Mexico, y'all down bad. What y'all think I forgot? What you think I forgot? To the no. We got another female champion last night. Y'all saw that shit, all right? Don't act like you didn't see it. My girl had 7 fights, went out there and beat the brakes off Mexico. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yo, pretty decent fight, man. Shout out to the women, and shout out to Mexico. It's all love. You know what I'm saying? We took that belt. Puerto Rico, stand up. We standing up again. We standing up again. You know what I mean? Listen, so that was a great fight between the ladies there. And I think you know, Amanda Serrano has a good chance of breaking this record. Let's see. So, and then we'll really be up. Oh, Mexico. Uh-oh. Yo, listen. Y'all had jokes, UK. Don't worry about it. We'll see you on the men's side. We'll see you on the men's side. Ladies, thank you for stepping up. You know what I mean? Yo, 'cause we needed that, bro. We needed that. Boost the morale. Boost the morale. Yes, we're taking it. Yes, we are. Way. Y'all would have took it. I would have been hearing all kinds of shit today from Mexico would have been really like, y'all would have been talking shit. So shut up. Yo, hey, yo, eat crow. Listen, yo, but great fight. So, and then like we have a couple good fights that are coming up. Interesting fights, just like I got in the thumbnail. We got Rolly gonna fight Tio, right? And we got Connor Benn versus Ryan Garcia. And those are going to be some big fights in a lot of different ways because both of those fights are for world titles. Both of them, you know. And in a division like that, where those two fights have, they could have history. You know, the implications of possibly fighting one or another, and the division really picking up some steam. As of right now, I'm a little on the fence on what division is actually the best division in all of boxing. I want to know in the chat, yo, chat, type it in the chat. In your opinion, what is the best division right now in all of boxing? Before I answer it and shit, I want to hear you guys, tell me what is it like 147? You think 140, 135, 154? Is 160 going to start picking up with the new arrival of some interesting fighters? What do you guys think about, this? What is the best division, right? In your opinion, right now? I want to know. And then I also want to know your opinion. Where do you think Benn's heart's at coming into the fight? One of my subscribers texted in something into the comments the other day. They said that Conor Benn was going to miss weight. He was going to miss weight and he was going to come in like 154, one some shit like that. And it was going to be up to Ryan and take the fight. The reason why I said all of this, Conor Benn himself made a couple videos already telling the public, this is my last fight at 147. He said, I did it. I made the weight. I came down. Shit, I even made the weight now. I'm in fight weight right now, leading into the next week into the fight, right? So, um, he said, even if I win the belt, I'm going to vacate the belt and move up to 154, maybe 160, he said. Shit, I even heard in one video 168. Because I guess he allegedly walks around 184, he's saying. So 168 would have been a good division for him, I guess, right? Okay. So when he said that, I said, yo, man, is he trying to like let us know that he doesn't give a fuck about the belt? He's just gonna go in there to try to beat Ryan. He's gonna try to do a Ryan to Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? Like Ryan, the rumors where he did that on purpose to Devin, he came in 3 pounds heavier. And then he replenished a couple more pounds on fight night. Okay. So now that I see that for myself, I see Conor Benn coming out just saying, look, if I win the fight, I win the belt. I'm not fighting at 147 again. This is my only fight, my last fight at 147, my only fight back. He fought at 147 in the past, numerous times. The majority of his career, I believe it was at 147. But he just can't make the weight no more. This was grueling, he said. So when I heard him say that, I was like, wait a minute. If you're not gonna look, but the fact that look, the ability, I mean, the opportunity to become a world champion doesn't come every day. Doesn't come every day. And if you're gonna be in the fight anyway, win, lose, or draw, if you think you could beat him, I mean, the weight cut might, but he's already there. I think he's gonna go for it. I think he's gonna go for it. I think he's gonna try to make the weight. But if he misses that weight, if he misses the weight, then he saw that his body couldn't take it no more. He said, fuck the belt. I'm just gonna go in. Ryan, you wanna fight? You wanna fight. I think Conor will still fight him. It'll be up to Ryan Garcia at that point. I think Ryan Garcia is crazy enough. He's got that right up there that Ryan's not gonna say no to the smoke. Ryan's going to train that hard to prepare for himself for that night. He's not going to do what Edwin De Los Santos did to Keyshawn Davis, where he left him at the altar. No, he's not going to do that, Ryan's not, he's cut from a different cloth. Ryan will see that as a challenge, and he'll be like, "What? You miss weight? I'm still busting your ass." That's Ryan Garcia. He's not gonna be like, you know what? I'm concerned about this. You know what? About nah, he ain't doing that. Nah. Ryan was crazy enough to fight Tank, Devin. Like Ryan got the best resume. He might not have them dudes on the winning aspect, and he got a loss to fucking Rolly. But the more Rolly wins, the more Rolly's credentials look like. If Rolly shocks the world and beats Tio, which I don't think is going to happen. I got Tio in the fight. Shout out to Rolly. I respect you. Fuck what I say. Go knock Tio out, Rolly. Do what you got to do. All right? As a warrior, I got both of y'all. I'm just picking the guy I favor to win. I think Tio got a little bit more skills than you, Rolly. But thank God, Rolly, we from the show me state here at round one, and you can show all of us how much of a champion you really are. Stop Tio, Rolly. Stop Tio. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look, man. Um, and the thing is this that I think that my man right here. Wait a minute. Let me read your reaction to it. I had asked you to type in the chat. What's up, David? Um, 154 right now seems like it's the best, or low key might be 168 pounds. Low key might be 168. Why do you think that? Uh, Maybe because the belts got scattered. Hamza's there now, and Billy Canelo's coming back. Ah, and isn't Hamza fighting for a unification now? Right? Right? 168, right? That's what you said. 168. Let me see. Yeah, it was 168. You brought up. Okay. Yeah. Low key, huh? Jaime Mongia. He's the WBA. No, he's not fighting for unification, Hamza. Who was he rumored to fight? I can't. Yeah, yeah, no, the IBF champion. That was the guy. I gotta look this back up. Don't hold me on that. I remember seeing somebody covering it on YouTube. I forgot who it was. They was talking about. Um, yeah, I think it was the IBF champion for Hamza. But anyway, your point was 168 low key. Um, Diego Pacheco's still there. Uh, Edgar Berlanga's still fighting there. Um, Jacob Bank. Um, who else? Uh, uh, I would have to look up that division. All right, yeah, it is. Well, okay, I see who the IBF is now. All right. So, and then at 147, I think is probably the best division in boxing right now. 147, I think. Oh, no, no, no. I'm sorry. Not 147. Well, 154. No, 154 has got to be the best division right now. 154 it has to be the best division. 147, the only reason why they're not getting the thing is because these guys are not fighting each other. Had they went up like Shakur went up to fight Devin type shit, and they got enough fighters there. They got the Brian Norman Juniors there still. They got Tiger Johnson. They got Rohan Polanco. They have a lot of big fight players in the game there at 147. If they was to really mix it up, it would I think it would be low key the best division. See, you pick 168, I'll pick 154 and low key 147. Like that. I'll go that way. But yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. 154 has got to be the best right now. I mean, with Gerard Boutenis winning those two belts, Sebastian Fundora there, Josh Kelly not looking so pretty. Um, yeah, we could, you know, it's got to be the best right now. And then we got Moses Atama later, a little bit later. Now that's a heavyweight I want to see fight right there. I want to see him fight Philip Hervich. I think, man, I hope Philip, um, you know, gives Moza a better fight than some of these performances. But starching Dylan White like that, um, I seen Dylan White lose a fight. I saw him lose a fight early in his career against that Russian dude that knocked him out with the uppercut. He went back and rematched that fight and brutalized that dude, beat the shit out of him. You know that, right? He ran that back. So, what was his name again? I know who he is. He was an OG man. He's been around in the game for a while. His name is just eluding me. That's all. I know exactly who he is. You know, and So, but what I was saying was Moses, like the guys that they're putting him in the ring with. Okay, I'm not gonna get crazy and say that these guys were fucking the top of the food chain. No, no. Dylan White was he at least I could say he was. You know, on any given day, he can fuck you up. Okay. Um, the way he starched them like that, I was like, ugh, right? So let's see. Let's see if Philip Erkovich can give this young, talented Moses Atamas, a fight. But Moses Atamas said, listen, brother, I don't got to get a punched in the face to prove to you that I'm in a fight. I don't got to do that. All I got to do is punch you in the face and stop you. So don't come up here telling me, oh, you ain't never been punched in the face. You ain't never been touched. Well, then you know what? You need to earn that. Because apparently none of these other guys were good enough to touch this face. I still look pretty. Moses and Thomas. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I can see Moses' side. I agree with him. You really don't gotta get punched in the face to prove you're a tough guy. I think it's the sport is like it's what's important here is that my fists are touching your face. You know what I'm saying? And you got knocked out. I, I proved that I was tough enough. So I think Moses is right. I think that Philip is right. I think that the UK, the Brits, come on, man, let's just be honest. It's like one of the biggest boxing countries out of the giants, out of like the giants, the US, Brits, Mexico type shit, right? Those are like the big dudes. And then Japan, right? So, like, yeah, UK, you know what I'm saying? The fact that you guys got him good advertisement, brought him up at a world stage. Frank Warren is his fucking promoter. He's deep into the Brit, he's as UK as it comes, and he has all the connections. So I can see what Philip was saying. And I would agree with him. And I do agree with him. If you guys got when the Brits got a little guy doing a little something, 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 he's just knocking us a couple dudes out. All of a sudden, the next great thing from the UK till he crosses the pond. Then he gets beat by a 5'10 Mexican, Andy the Destroyer Ruiz. And the rest is history, AJ. Right? Yo was down bad that night. Mexico estaban eléctricos. Listen, that was like one of Mexico's highlights. They completed on that night the 17 weight division ritual. I think they got a champion in all 17 weight divisions, Mexico. And Andy the Destroyer Ruiz gave them that. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's a legend. That's why, like, that man ain't basically fought since the rematch. He made that much money and Mexico, like, they just throwing money at the dude. He don't really don't, I guess, don't got to fight because Andy the Destroyer Ruiz, he doesn't seem to be broke at all. He's always pulling up in the latest new shit. Got his entire girl. You know how the money changes a person. So I didn't expect him to have the same girl or wife or anything because that shit was gonna change. Money, money. You get a lot of new friends out of nowhere. Trust me, right? And if you don't know how to manage that shit, but Andy the Destroyer Ruiz is about to fight. He's got a fight scheduled. I think in later on the calendar year. Um, I don't know who's on the card. I'll check that out for you. But he's coming back. He's making a return. But that had to be one Mexican fucking night. You know, okay. Saul Canelo Alvarez got all four belts. That's okay. You know, um, uh, Julio Cesar Chavez, like 90 fucking fights without losing. Great, great. That was all great. But the heavyweight championship of the world? Oh my God. Bro, he had all the belts everywhere. And he was like, yo, that must have been the shit for me. Yo, I gotta admit, a little jealous, a little jealous, a little jealous. We have champions in all 17 Puerto Rico, too. We have a champion in all 17 weight divisions. The only thing we have not had is a champion with 3 belts or more. We have never been undisputed, but never say never. We got a lot of talent coming up. Yo, did you guys see um um what's his name there? I always Lopez, Juanita Lopez. Bro, that kid is something else, man. Wow, his movement right now. Y'all better watch out for that dude in the division. He's a very, very crafty puncher. And what I mean by crafty, he's not always committed to the shot he saw. He knows how to change it mid-flight. Say he was gonna go and like throw the punch like this, but he saw the guy's arm coming out and the opening started coming in the shot. He'll loop it and bring it into you. Like when his mind's not thinking, throw the left, now throw the overhand right. His mind's not thinking like that. His mind is going like just he is really looking for the best options of a punch. Um, and he's boom, boom. That other punch. I think the fight before this was it the fight before this? It was the one in Los. No, it wasn't the one before this because the one before this was he fought on the Xander card. He fought. I saw him fight on the Xander card live. I saw Juanita fight live, right? So it wasn't that fight. It was like one of his earlier fights. He fought the Mexican dude and he shut his motherboard out. The one that he stretched out that his toes were pointing and he was frozen like this, where Juanita stepped back like this, and it looked like he was gonna throw um a, like a outside shot. And he turned the punch and curved it and went boom and hit him. And it was a one punch knockout. So his momentum, the trajectory, everything at the last second, he has the ability to snap you at the last second. So I said, okay, when I saw that, I was like, pretty impressive, kid. But I'm not sure if he understood what he did at the time. I didn't, at the time, I wasn't going to give him all that credit. Like, oh shit, that's some superior shit right there. Because it was at a low level but he's also at a low level. So I'm like, okay, okay. When I saw him fight last night, He drops the guy early in the first round. Boom, boom, boom. Then all of a sudden, as a fan, I'm nervous that what happened in the card in Puerto Rico on that same card, the kid with the blonde streak, he was winning, I felt, the fight. And the Puerto Rican Conor McGregor with the wings on his chest ends up knocking him out, right? So I'm like, when Juanita hit him, I said, yo, 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 like I got nervous and shit. Here comes Fun Truck. What up, baby? What's up,
What
Fun
I
Truck?
do? What I do? Round one.
Yeah, man. I'm just talking about that Juanita fight right now and his craftiness of punching. So what fights did you see last night? Fun Truck and
Yeah,
um
yeah. I
go
haven't.
ahead.
I didn't watch too much boxing, but I did watch the main event with Clarissa Shields and her opponent from Australia. I think
Okay.
her opponent was as tough as they can get for Clarissa Shields. She has very little competition in the heavier weight classes, and especially in the female category.
Yeah.
I like Clarissa Shields. I've been a fan of her since I watched her spar Cyborg like 15 years ago. Do you
Hmm.
know that about that sparring
Yeah,
footage?
yeah, yeah. I
Chris
know all
Cyborg.
about Cyborg. I know who Chris Cyborg is. She's a female MMA fighter. She
So
has
so I,
championships and like crazy shit.
Man,
Go
I,
ahead.
I remember I remember when I was into the UFC back then, and I remember
Yeah.
watching that sparring footage, and that's how I got my introduction to the greatest woman combat sports athlete. Well, I'd say boxer, because
Okay.
another level of respect that I have for her is that she stepped into MMA. She was that good in boxing. She had to go into a whole completely different sport. Imagine being so good at tennis, you have to pick up pickleball. Because MMA is a completely different sport with the grappling and the kicks and the elbows and all the different rules. And it's a 5 minute round, not a 3 minute round. So she was so good at boxing, she had to transition into MMA to find competition.
I know a lot of
But
girls
but
that did that.
I will say, like, I can see why she's easily hated. She brings it amongst herself. She's also crossed over into pop culture because a lot of I would say even superstars were at that fight, like people like celebrities.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Mayweather's you would consider Mayweather a superstar.
A global superstar.
Sure. And he was at the fight, and so were a bunch of other
Yep.
celebrities.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I think it's cool that they all pop out for Clarissa. Like, I think it's one thing like about the black culture sticking together, but it's also supporting the female boxer, and it's the sport that we respect. So, I can see the criticism that she receives, but I look past that and I see greatness. And and that's not to see that I could see flaws in her character, because there's definitely some.
Hmm.
But I like her, man. What about
All
you?
right. Let me just before we go on, that way I can give you my opinion on what you said because I want to hold the conversation with you. I enjoy this, by the way. Okay, first of all, as far as black culture goes, the black people have been saying for a lot of years that they're the kind of people that they don't back a lot. They're not known like for backing each other up, right? And in today's era, to see them all pull up for Clarissa, it was a beautiful thing.
100%.
It showed that, the unity in them. They need to start doing that. They need to stop competing against each other and always pointing the finger, I'm better than you, that type shit. As a Puerto Rican man,
Can,
I could be anywhere in the world, I swear to God. And I could be in Oregon, fucking, and all of a sudden I see a group of Latin men. They don't even know me. They'll bring me over, give me food. They'll hey, do you need this? They'll this and that, and that's how they are as a race of people. I don't know why it's just weirdly like that. Then the brothers show up. There's four of them over there, and then this one comes out from nowhere, and they just leave them over there in the corner. So for them to start realizing, wait a minute, bro, we need to start like being, us, and let us be proud, damn it. Let us enjoy something. So to see that, and I can actually sit here and say, you know what? They showed up for that lady. They showed up for her. Now, as far as your opinion about her not being liked, she's a very, very tough woman to get along with. It's because of her competitive nature. See, I can read Clarissa Shields, and Clarissa Shields' mind is there is no one better than me, and that's
Yeah,
it.
she's
So
there's
see,
supreme confidence.
right, you have to have that as, and it can come off a little distasteful, and I'm sorry that people are offended by it, right? But Clarissa is going to be Clarissa. She doesn't know how to share the space. She feels like she's like this. Now, I respect your opinion about her being the best and about how Clarissa went out and fought in the UFC type shit. Not in the UFC, but in that MAA setting. You know what I mean? Amanda Serrano did the same thing. She left boxing and she went into MMA. Amanda Serrano did exactly that. She had a couple fights in the cage because these women can't that are so good can't get these fights. So to stay active, they
Even
challenge
harder in the heavier,
themselves.
even harder in the heavier weight classes, though.
Yeah, well,
That's why Carissa's limited to her competition, and she's honestly hardly loses rounds. And I respect
well, well,
Serrano. I think that she beat. Hang on, I think she beat Katie Taylor all three times, bro. I really do.
well. Okay, I think she beat her except the last one. The other two she beat her. The last one not so much, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The
as
last one you
far
could
as
say was a draw.
yeah, and see the point you're making is I have this argument with big guys. They don't like giving Naoya Inoue his credit because he's little. He's at 122, 168 pounders. Like, no way, because we're fighting the tougher competition. We're fighting bigger guys. And I call bullshit on that argument. The reason why I called bullshit on that argument, I was like, the guys that they're fighting at the lower weight division are no more bigger than the guy you're fighting in your high weight division because you guys both made weight at that size, meaning you're fighting someone your size. And the guy down there at the low weight division is fighting someone his size. It
Hang on,
doesn't
Edwin.
make,
Edwin, they haven't even found someone to meet Clarissa halfway, bro. Savannah Marshall
well,
was supposed to be the person, right? Savannah
well,
Marshall was supposed to be that person. And look,
yeah.
she couldn't even win rounds against Clarissa, bro.
No, no, no,
I
no.
mean,
But
maybe
I
she
agree
did.
with you. I agree with you, brother, in the sense, right? I agree with you, brother, in the sense of her not getting the big names of the competition because there's no one there. Homie, when it comes to women competition, the women are great and they can compete, but the problem is they're far in between. What's the next Amanda Serrano, Clarissa Shield, Alicia Bumgard to the next one? For every one is 100 women. You know what I'm saying? There's not enough Clarissa Shields. There's not enough Amandas. So they got to
But I'm
jump
just
up and
saying,
down.
yeah, I hear you. But I'm just saying they haven't even found someone to meet Clarissa halfway, bro.
Okay, and Clarissa Shield won the heavyweight championship, right? When she won the heavyweight championship, the all four belts, remember, on that night, there were 15 women ranked in her entire division. 15 women
In all of the world, bro.
in all of the world. So it's like these
Ain't
women
that
have
about a
these run.
bitch?
Yeah, these women have these runs, and Clarissa Shields became 3 times undisputed. And I really don't argue the fact that, in
I'm not
some of
even
her
compare.
belts,
It's a little difficult to compare her to Amanda Serrano though, because
yeah, well, Amanda
it's
got
like
7 divisions.
yeah. But
That's
they
a
met
lot.
someone to meet. They met. Amanda met someone halfway, and that person was Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor
Yeah,
was her fucking kryptonite. Because as much as I think she won the first two fights, you know, I watched those on Netflix.
yeah,
Um, and I was gutted when they announced the victory for Katie Taylor, and especially because the referee only took 1 point away for the headbutts. I think Katie Taylor is the
mm,
most dirtiest fucking fighter of all time.
yeah,
She's headbutted her all her opponents leading up to the Amanda Serrano.
yeah. I agree with you. You're cutting out there a little bit. You'll probably fix back in, but um, look, yeah, yeah, no, no, you just unfroze right now. Look, I agree with you with that. Katie Taylor is that kind of fighter and this and that. A lot of us say that Amanda should have never went up there. That was another case that Amanda went up there because she had no more names. She had to blimp up, get the weight up, and try to fight that fight. And we're saying that about Alicia Bungardner and Clarissa Shields. But I just think that this is not none of these ladies' fault, brother. God
It's
made you
not.
smaller and her bigger. That's all. And you guys are not
Yep.
afraid of each other. You know what I mean? So I
hmm
just think that you guys are
Here's
just,
another thing. Here's another thing. My boxing trainer taught me this a long time ago. He goes,
yep.
with women in boxing, it's like you want to cuddle, you want to caress women. You don't want to see them be aggressive and like be alpha, right? So I think that's another reason why it's easy for people to harp on Clarissa Shields because she is an alpha female, 100%.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so let me ask you a question. It's a little off topic on boxing, but about the two girls. Who do you think wore the bathing suit better, Clarissa Shields or Alicia Baumgardner? Who wore it
Oh,
better? Who wore it better? Come on, tell the truth. Who
hey,
wore it better?
hey, I like a little flat tummy. Fucking Alicia Baumgartner is bad, bro. She's
Yo,
bad.
she had the. Hey, listen, I think she wore it better. Shot to the goat. You know what I'm saying? She looked great too, but I thought that was a little cheesy to get in the same exact swimsuit, but just a
Yeah,
different color. It was just a
bro.
different color, but it was the exact
That's a
one.
10. That's a 10-7 round for Bumgarner.
Ten
Easy.
seven round. Oh no! Stop the fight! Stop the fight! Frontline, what's up, brother?
What's
Frontline,
happening,
what you doing?
dude?
What's going on?
This phone don't stop, which is a good thing, but ain't shit. Fun truck, what up?
What's
Yo,
going on,
chat,
frontline?
what up? I'm reading the chat right now. Looks like the chat was looking for me. I'm here. What y'all got to say? Say it now, or
Hey
forever hold
yo,
your peace.
Mr. Miyagi's always looking for you. Hey yo, read the chat Frontline real quick. Catch up to the
Bumgarner's got
chat.
a body
Let
yachty,
me catch
bro.
up.
She's
I'm trying to say.
bodied up.
Melasa Indian, Dimelo. That was
You
me.
want
Yeah, you sound loud and clear.
you want to know something,
Shout out
frontline?
to
I'm not
huh?
intimidated by it. My bad. My bad, frontline.
Nah, you good, you good.
Go ahead.
Shout out to Marueco Boxing, says saludos round one, and to the chat. Loy in the building. Bull Rider said that shit last night was a clown show. Facts. Shout out to Mac Majestic. Team Slime says Shields is the baddest female on the planet. Ronald ain't undefeated. He's famous for losing. Well, Slime, let's take resume for resume. Let's take Amanda Serrano's resume and compare it to Shields. Who has better
Let's not do that.
opposition?
Let's not do that.
No, no, no. We have to do that. We
Let's
have
not do
to
that.
that.
This is not. Listen, look, guys. I don't want to go down this avenue because the end of the
Look,
day, if you're a
that's why
Clarissa
Frontline's
Shield
here.
fan, be. I know
That's
you
why
want to go
Frontline's here.
down.
He like to take detours sometimes, especially the road closed and the no through traffic. Those are the type of ways I like to go.
We're going down them dark streets, Frontline.
Yeah, I like close tunnels and you know.
Fun truck, you got your mic muted. Fun truck, you're muted. You are
Okay.
muted.
My
You
bad,
need
my
to.
bad. Okay, gotcha. Hey guys, so
Mm,
before I started watching boxing and I was watching the UFC, do you guys remember the ESPN 30 for 30 documentaries? They
yeah,
did one with Roberto Duran and the No Mas. That was my first introduction to Roberto Duran. And I had known about the No Mas like from just listening to my uncles talk about sports, but it wasn't for that 30 for 30. So Roberto Duran, as great as he is, as I like watching his fights against Davey Moore, he's known for fucking quitting. It's just your identity that people slap on you, bro.
no, I think he took a lot of criticism for quitting in the Sugar Ray Leonard 2 fight. Um, Later on, he spoke about that fight and the quitting and what how the people treated him back home.
Real quick,
And
can you
they
tell me about that fight? Did you think Meldrick should have won that fight? Do you think that the referee fucked up there?
with Mildred Taylor and who and
Chavez.
Chavez? No, 100%. He deserved the fight. He deserved the right to hang on the rope for 3 to 4 seconds. Put me
Mm.
down again. You didn't take that kind of damage. Richard Steele steps in, he stops the fight like that, looks inside of his eyes, he steps back, and I mean, I don't think that the referee knew how much time was left in the fight. I think
He said
later
he
I would like
did.
to. He
He said
did.
later in the interview, did yeah.
Oh no, then that's just a shitbag thing to do, brother. Then you know what. I mean, Mildred Che was a brother. The referee was. Like, I
Yeah.
thought he would just, like, give him the benefit of the doubt. You're doing one of the greatest things. Nobody was hanging with Chavez like that, and you were about to take his undefeated streak, the belt, everything. And I think he gave too much in the first fight for the second fight.
Hmm.
Mildred over he took way too much damage in that first fight. I felt so.
And
Yeah,
emotional
man.
damage.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The emotional damage is probably worse. But shout out to Chavez. He was getting outpointed, outscored basically the majority of the fight, and he still stuck in there as a champion and put Mildred Taylor down. The decision to stop it, it was questionable, just like the Usyk one against the kickboxer. He was. I didn't feel like he was staggering, standing there like this.
Me too.
Like out of his mind. The referee could have let that go. He fought that. I think he deserved the right at that point to go out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? That was my opinion. I was just like, if that didn't happen, quiet as kept. I remember feeling he was winning the fight.
Rico, absolutely.
Rico was winning that fight against fucking Usyk. I felt,
Hmm.
I don't remember it, real clear right now. But I
Hmm.
remember before the stoppage, I remember feeling that way. I
He
felt
need
to
he needed that,
myself,
that Usyk needed to stop him in order to win the fight.
yeah, in
That's how
order
you
to
felt.
win.
Hmm.
Yes, absolutely. After now, like that Francis Ngannou fight with Tyson Fury. On my live, right? I was joking around. I had my dog with me, and I was like, I don't gamble. I don't put money on no fights, but the odds were crazy for Francis Ngannou. So I put $20, and I was
Oh,
like telling the people, "This is my dog food money. So if we don't win, the dog goes hungry." So I'm just joking. I'm just joking, of course, right? So then I'm in the 11th round. By this point, Francis has already dropped them. I'm in the 11th round shaking on a $20 bet because this is about to be like 1,600. It's going to $20 about to turn into 16 or some shit. It was crazy. So sitting there, and then the final bell rang, and I said, Francis did it. He beat him. He beat him, and they gave it to Tyson Fury. And I was like, damn, if Francis Ngannou would have did just a little bit more to beat him. But that's the sport. That's sometimes you get bullshit calls. Sometimes you get good calls, man. But I always vowed not to let one fight deter me from the sport or one call. Like I felt like they robbed this guy. Like when I saw Shockey Foster lose to Conceiao the first fight, I was disgusted. I was disgusted in the sport. I've never seen, not even, how they have the commentators, the fan scorecard, right? It's not the official scorecard, but it's a guy calling the fight round by round. We see it all the time. The
Chris Mannix
unofficial
does it.
score, yeah, unofficial scorecard had Oshaki Foster winning 11 rounds and Conceiao winning one. The unofficial scorecard had Conceiao winning one round. I had him winning none. He won the fight.
Holy shit.
He won the fight. Then they rematched and Oshaki Foster beat him and took his belt back. But I've never seen a fight where the guy that's calling the unofficial was so off.
Hmm.
He had it
Hmm.
11-1, and
That might be a good segment. That
we
might be a
were
good
in
segment
shock.
because I remember a couple times, yeah, like the predicted scorecard doesn't even line up what to the judges have at the end of the fight.
Right. Okay.
But
Saul
with
Canelo
that
Alves
Usyk,
and
with that
Terrence.
I had that fight very close.
The scorecards were off. I think, my opinion.
Yeah.
I didn't have that fight as close as you. I'm pretty sure not as close as you had it,
What'd you have
but
it? 8-4?
yeah, you could probably
Yeah.
say that.
I'd say 7-5 for me, maybe even 6-6, bro. Honestly, there's a
Maybe
good
because
argument for 6-6. No, no, no,
you're
no, 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 because
grinding,
listen,
you
because
love
hey,
something. All
because that
right,
is
I
my guy.
love it.
Hey, that is my
Yeah,
guy. He
yeah,
did bring me
yeah,
into boxing. There's no better fight than the Triple G2 Canelo fight. That's my number one fight of all time. If I ever want to fucking like just go back and just be amused, I can watch that fight all day long. But Canelo, Crawford in the first 4 rounds was too much on the back foot, bro. Too much circling for me. I think the first four you could score towards
well,
Canelo.
you would circle from a fucking body snatcher puncher like Canelo. You're not gonna. It'd be stupid for you not to use your leg because that man's gonna rip your fucking liver right out of your stomach.
Hey, no,
Now,
but listen, Canelo was so fucking telegraphing his shot. Canelo like never let him know your next move, and Canelo like hooking from back here. You know that's not the young
yeah.
Canelo anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Edwin, let me catch up with the chat real quick. Let me catch up with the chat real
Yeah. Go
quick.
ahead. Go ahead.
Nuclear Arsenal says, "Are you jealous of Black Excellence?" Question. Team Slime says, "The woman who
No.
has seven fights, two belts in a division, Shields doesn't fight in anymore. Tell the truth if you're gonna." Nuclear says, "Two Tone is not your man. He calls you fart face." Laughing emoji. It's all fun and fucking publicity. David says, "Truth be told, it's not Clarissa's fault that she's too big and there's not much weight class. All the best fighters are in the smaller weight classes." Mr.
That's
Miyagi in
the
the building
truth.
says, "Salute, we in the building." Nuclear says, "Who cares about bathing suits? You're a weirdo." Precise says, "Right, who cares?" King Ko says, "Team Slime, Clarence Clarence ain't no what." He meant to say Clarissa, but he said Clarence ain't no woke beating on old cherry picks. Melasa says, "I think that was Carlos Arroyo." Dirty Boxing says, "Everything round one is saying is 100%. David says, "King KO, a cherry pick fighter with two belts seems pretty good to me." 11 vacant titles is nasty work, says King KO. Melasa says, "I really don't watch female boxing." David says 154 right now seems like it's the best, or low key might be 168. The recent pictures floating around, it looks like he lost lots of muscle. Ryan has a huge stop in Benn. I just want the truth says, "What's your thoughts on Jenny Beck getting a shot at a world title at 68? Dave
Wow.
Raz is fighting his mandatory Jenny Beck, which he's making his debut at 68. Remember, round one, you still got Caleb Plant and Jamel Charlo is going to campaign at 68. I just want the truth says,
Ooh.
pop back in. Tachi in the building says, "Where's Frontline at?" Nuclear Saji said, "I went crazy as fuck that day. I lost my voice for days." King KO says he only had those titles for 6 months. Nuclear says Black Power. King KO says, "Not round one. Katie Toronto, all three fights. Live with it." Weird Take says Angel. Mr. Miyagi says the one on the Jake versus Tyson. I thought Amanda won that clearly. And decision. Well, gee, thanks for somebody coming from the UK who's always biased and fucking cheating ass UK, Mr. Miyagi. Yeah, I'm surprised you said that Amanda won that one, but let's move on. King KO, the only fighter to beat Katie was Chantel Cameron. Cameron got robbed in the second fight. Without makeup, Elisa looks like the old Chinese man from Norbit. Uh, Denim says, "Round one, fix your mic, brother." I don't know how long. Angel says, "And here's Alicia got way more miles on her. Ha ha." Jason Ayala in the building. He said, "What up, round one?" Joshua says, "The fact that Amanda Serrano got robbed, she's still humble and badass."
Yeah.
Nardoski in the building says, "Saludo Corillo." Joshua says, "Clarissa been dropped in her fight, and Katie got whooped by Serrano twice." Marruecos Boxing says, "Stay tuned. Video incoming of your favorite fighters."
You know,
Cut creator says, huh?
I'll wait till you finish.
Cut creator. Oh, cut creator said the only one had they only had one fight, Taylor and Sally. Joshua says Chantel even hurt Katie like little Amanda did. Has never wobbled. Going back, open scorecards would have been bad for Katie Taylor. Foster lost the second. Honest. Carcass in the building. Mr. Miyagi said, I had to winning the first and second was super close. Triple G versus Canelo 1 was the best, says Carcass. Miyagi says, same Josh. Bud versus Triple G says Carcass. Yeah, Nello was sloppy. Drop the link, Papa, says Carcass. Two Tone be joking, says Carcass. 1 8 straight. Mountain Show, Carcass. Larissa got to fight Tams, whatever that means. Joshua says MVP had the best the fighters. And last but not least, King KO says, nah, I meant clearance. Really laughing emoji. Naldo says, Maruego finger red #1.
Mm,
I gotta check
good.
Maruego. He's
So
been dropping a couple funny videos
yeah.
of people's favorite fighters getting knocked out, and got little creative music behind it and
Oh
shit.
yeah.
It's pretty funny. It's
Yo, so you read a lot there in the chat, so we had a lot to like break down. And I know I probably answered some of the things, or you guys
hey,
probably
real
get the
quick.
gist of it.
Navarrete versus Foster. If you go your way, I send it to you. You can pull up the flyer. They already agreed to the terms and everything. It is
Ooh.
set. It is set for October. I don't remember because I don't have the flyer in front. I send it to you.
I
Um,
got it right. Wait, I got it right here. Hold on, hold on. Okay, I see it right here. So it says, man, you Navarrete and Foster
hold on.
agreed to the terms for
I'll,
the October 24th junior lightweight unification. That's what it says.
yep, it's set for October 24th. Mario
Yeah.
Emmanuel Navarrete and Osaki Foster have agreed to a junior lightweight unification 24th in San Antonio. Navarrete will put his WBO and on the line, while Foster brings the WBC belt with 3 world titles at stake. And the
That's a good
source of
one. That's
that
three
is
belts.
Chris Mannix.
That's a good source. He's a reliable source. I like that fight right there. And as for you guys' opinions about um the Conciao fight, listen, Conciao lost that first fight hands down, right? The second fight was a lot closer. I thought that Oshaki Foster started to let the fight slip away from him in some of those rounds. I still think he did enough to win the belt. For the amount of that, the way that robbery happened in the first fight to award him a close fight, yeah, we're even. Give me back my belt. He Ponciao, I don't think there's a human alive that thought he actually won that first fight. I never came across him. I never met that person. So if you're out there, let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I know not to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? We don't never have to talk, you know, because that was a one-sided beatdown in the first one. The second one, I agree. It could have went either way. And some thought Oshaki did lose that second fight. He did good in the fight. He just started to let it slip away from him. We've seen that a lot in boxing. We've seen guys winning a fight. Shit, I watched Oscar De La Hoya versus Felix Trinidad. And to this day, every time I hear the Mexican dudes talk about that fight, I say, if your boy, Golden Boy, would not have ran for the last 3 rounds, he wins the fight. He gave away the fight, I felt. And the judges felt that too. It's like sometimes you watch these guys and they think they got it in the bag. There's things called swing rounds in boxing. Shit, that round could have went either way. And I think that Oscar thought I won the first 7, and apparently he didn't. So
I know, and I agree with you. Yeah, like he brought that upon himself too, right? He gave those
he did.
away.
He shouldn't have ran. He
That's
should
what.
have
That's
just
why it's hard to
should have
argue.
fought.
Even
He
though I
should
still
have
think
just
he won.
fought.
I think he won the fight.
I think he
All he
was
needed to
winning the
do was
fight
just yeah. All he needed to do is just string a couple combinations together in one of the
together.
last 3 rounds. But how about
That's
this?
it.
I was just watching a fight recently. It's super bad from Detroit. What's his name? Antonio Harrison. Who's the fighter that fought Charlo twice? Tony Harrison.
Oh, Tony
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 Harrison.
Harrison.
Harrison. Yeah.
Okay, do you remember the second fight
Yes.
with Charlo? He was up. He was giving Charlo a clinic until he like got too confident and got stopped. But if you go back and watch that fight, he was giving him an absolute clinic, and just he took his eye off the ball for half a second and got that's what snowballed until the TKO and he got stopped.
Hmm. I mean,
That that's a
the Charlos have been known for being patient and waiting for a little bit of this shot. There's the older brothers are a little bit more aggressive. Man, that combination when he said that dude up, he went and off the uppercut with the same hand, shit was nasty. But Tony Harrison, it was a good fighter. I think he was just I think that Tony Harrison had done a lot of good work, but I came out of that fight thinking that Charlo was allowing him to do that. Charlo was allowing him to do that, to throw a lot of punches, to get him in the position where he wanted to. And then it seemed like Charlo just turned on the gas. I thought that
uh
was more strategic a little.
well,
Like,
maybe I'm a big fan of Tony Harrison, but I thought he was giving him a clinic, like
you
a
think so?
straight boxing clinic.
The first fight I felt he was doing good
Was close.
again. Huh?
The first fight was close. I think honestly could have went towards Charlo, but Tony they gave it to
Yeah.
Tony. I think they gave
Yeah.
it to him. But in the
Yeah.
second fight, I suggest you go back and watch that. He was giving him an absolute
Yeah.
clinic, and the way you can tell is because he's standing right in front of Charlo, flat footed, like just
Yo,
not even. Go ahead.
that night that he actually lost to Tony, I thought he won that fight. And the next fight, his brother fought. His brother won the fight, but I thought he lost the fight. They fought on the same card that night.
Hmm.
One of them was the
Hey,
I
main belt.
remember.
Yeah,
Edwin, real quick,
and
let me respond to Julius real quick. He says Navarrete should rematch Charlie Suarez. So, in case y'all don't know, I guess Loma and Charlie Suarez are in negotiations to fight.
yep,
Hopefully that fight goes through. I agree with Julius that Suarez deserves a rematch for that first fight,
Navarrete
but
doesn't want to fight him.
not yet. Not yet because he's going against
No,
Foster
because
for
he found out
unification.
that Charlie Suarez can get to him,
Can
and
crack.
Charlie Suarez and knew his style. I don't think Navarrete wants to face that man. And Navarrete knew it wasn't a headbutt. He knew that punch landed. Navarrete felt that power. He's been avoiding that man ever since. Didn't give him a rematch. He don't want that. I don't think so. I think Charlie Suarez got Navarrete's number and he's avoiding
Well,
him like the plague. I mean,
so
look,
what do you think
look,
about
it
this
worked
though?
out. It worked out because he's fighting for 3 belts. But okay,
So wait, hold
fought
on.
Sugar Nunez. He should have fought Suarez then.
Supposedly, the WBO is you already know what they're doing with Loma. They're shooing them up straight up to the rankings.
That's they do. But Loma's got
So,
credentials. He's got history. He did shit. He was a champion coming back. You can skip the line. It's not like you started here on day one. On day one, no, that's a valued customer. He
what?
paid sanctioning fees. So come this way, Loma. Come to the front of the line. You don't get this is not an audition. You've already proved your way. Come
Yeah,
over
no, I
here.
get
Go
it.
take your
I
seat
get
right
all that.
here.
But
VIP
here's the
baby.
thing. I think
VIP.
in my opinion, I think
Yep.
Navarrete. I think he'll fight Charlie if big if how can I explain it? If he either gets a belt or is a quote unquote mandatory.
Okay, stop. Stop right there. How about this? Let's say that the Navarrete, Shaki Fosters, the wrestling, everything gets ironed out. Fight is official. They actually fight. In a hypothetical, oh, Shocky Foster, I got you in the fight, so don't worry. And as in a hypothetical, Navarrete wins. He gets all the belts. Now he has three. Do you really think he's gonna give Suarez a shot at those three belts?
Hold on, let me back up here. You said you got
I'm
Foster
just
against
asking because
Navarrete.
you
Hold
just
on.
said if he gets another belt. I'm like, all right,
No, 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 no.
let's
Not if
make
he
up a
gets another belt.
situation.
Not if he gets a belt. If Charlie
You
gets
said
a
that.
belt. If Charlie
Oh,
gets a
if
belt.
where do you want him to get it from? Walmart aisle three? All the belts are taken.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is he's fighting Loma to be ranked higher, and then he'll become a mandatory for whatever organization places him number one for a mandatory. So then he can go for
Okay,
a belt, and then once he does get a belt, I think then Navarrete would have no choice but to give him a rematch for a undisputed. If what? But wait, let's back up a little bit. Let's back up a little bit. Did you say that you got Foster over Navarrete?
yeah, yeah, I got
Oh,
Foster.
you went for a roast.
Hold on. Frontline, you act like you met me yesterday.
You went
Wait,
That's
for
not
a
a
wait.
bad. That's
roast.
that's not,
Hold
hey,
on.
that's not a bad pick. That's not a bad pick, Edwin. And
Hold on.
That's a horrendous pick.
no,
You're right.
no,
It's not bad. It's
Listen,
horrendous.
I'm picking
listen.
Navarrete
Wait.
maybe
Front truck,
55-45.
front truck. Front line. He fell down a flight of stairs when he was a baby. I think they dropped him, right? So he has a tendency of forgetting things. He's been on my show for this many years, and every year I tell them, bro, I always pick against Navarrete, and he always proves me wrong. He knows this. He
Yeah,
knows it.
I
This
do.
is no secret. This is no secret. There has been, I think it was like one fight that I said, okay, you know what, Navarrete, I'm gonna pick you in the fight because I keep picking against you and you keep fucking winning. It's that Navarrete has a style in boxing that doesn't make sense. Right?
He
He
has a
has this
very unpredictable type of
yeah,
style.
and it could fool you until you find out who he is and you study him. Then you can appreciate. Wait a minute, he's a master at himself. He just knows his awkwardness. He's bigger than a lot of these guys, and he's stronger. And the man can take a punch, so he's not scared to fight. That's Navarrete.
Yo,
I
Edwin, you
keep
getting
thinking that a
fried.
boxer. I keep thinking that a boxer is gonna beat Navarrete like Oscar Valdez. But Oscar on fight night, I saw how smaller Oscar Valdez was, and I was like, Navarrete's gonna beat the shit out of him, and he
Hey
did,
guys,
right?
if anybody makes videos and y'all want to clip this when Navarrete beats the shit out of Foster, timestamp 128.
It's not the bad. It's not a bad pick.
128. Oh, y'all can
Yo,
add fun truck to your little
No,
roast.
no, no. I'm picking Navarrete. I'm picking Navarrete
Oh,
55.
and see how quick that changed? You
yo. But to my defense, and to shout out to Navarrete, bro, for being a fucking warrior and a champion. That man, he has two belts, and he silenced all the doubters because that. Let me tell you something. You guys are like Edwin's picking against Navarrete. I'm not the only motherfucker that picked against Navarrete. All the Mexicans picked against him too. They all had Oscar Valdez. When they asked all the Mexican legends that were in attendance, the Julio Cesar Chavez's of the world, they all had Valdez. None of them really had Navarrete. That coat wasn't sized for him neither. They thought he was out of here. So don't sit here and tell me, oh, round one, he's gonna pick against Navarrete. Nah, bro, y'all picked against him too. Your own fucking people didn't have him in the majority of the fight. You guys even did a poll on that night. The Mexican boxing fans had Oscar Valdez.
Hey, take a
So I
wild
want to
guess on who
hear
I
that
got.
shit.
Take a
I
wild
want
guess
to
on
hear
who I
that
got.
shit.
Take a wild guess on who I got. Wild guess.
Who?
Navarrete
Oh,
or
Navarrete, any Latin fighter against anyone.
that's
Stop it.
right.
Listen,
That's right.
look. I was you once upon a time, frontline. I was you, right? I was that pride Latino Puerto Rican guy, and it really didn't matter to us because it wasn't a lot of Latin superstars. We were far in between. So when Saul Canelo Alvarez was coming up, we had Saul Canelo Alvarez, my family. We're Puerto Rican, but we were supporting Saul. Why? Because he was Latino. I was that fan that at once upon a time. Any Latin fighter fought, we would show him support.
And what
And
changed?
if you
What changed?
didn't,
What
if
changed?
if 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 you didn't, you got kicked out the house. Well, what changed was, to tell you the truth, grandma passed away and the family stopped coming together, and I got to pick my own fighter, right? That's what changed. And then I was like, because I'm telling you, if I came home and like if the Yankees was forced onto me at birth, they put little Yankee outfits on me, took pictures, and my entire family watches the Yankees. If I came home and said, fucking go Red Sox, they would abandon me. I would no longer be part of the family. I would be written out the will, and none of my family would talk to me. So that's what, that's how crazy of sports family we are. So when I started like covering boxing, I just made a promise to myself that I'll try to be just universal. All boxers, no matter what nationality, not race, and I live vicariously through you, Frontline. So I'm like, okay, at least the Latin guys are gonna get it. And I go on other podcasts and I get shit for it because they assume, no, that one got to be like Frontline because you be talking crazy. But the only thing
Yeah.
is this. Look, I really think that Oshaki Foster got skills. I think he fights up to his competition. I think Navarrete will apply that pressure that's going to make him box. Oshaki Foster's slick enough. He's got the gas tank. He's got everything. He's got the movement. Not at the toppest level, but I think it will be enough to frustrate Navarrete. Remember what happens when Navarrete fought, over there, and he fought that Williams kid there, and he put Navarrete down,
It was
and
Wilson.
he was a mover.
Wilson.
Wilson. Yeah, yes. Thank you for the correction. And he was a better mover. He was a better mover, and had his gas tank not betrayed him, and he didn't start slowing down, he beats Navarrete. So
No,
I
no, no,
think
no,
that
no, 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 no,
Oshaki,
no. Hold on. You know what? You know for a
You're
fact.
right.
I
You're
never
right,
go
Edwin.
against my Latin fighters.
I know you
Never.
can't. So I know you're
But,
biased. So your take is going to
but,
be biased. But I'm telling
wait,
you
no,
what
no,
I
no.
really saw.
But, in all fairness, that fight versus Wilson, they gave Navarrete extra time to recover. He should
Oh
have
yeah, 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 yeah,
lost.
yeah. No, he was knocked out. He definitely would. If it wasn't for that referee, he lost that day. He technically did
But
lose.
that's me being fair. That's me fair. But I'm still Team Latino all the way across. I don't care win, lose, or draw.
No,
That's
no,
who
no.
I
I
ride
respect
with.
that, brother.
That's who I
And
die with. It is what it is.
listen, I respect that, brother. And Latin support and all countries support is welcome on this channel. It
And
doesn't
by
matter
the way,
who
let
you are. You
somebody
want
in
to
the
show pride,
chat,
show pride.
somebody get at me from another channel talk about, oh, Frontline, you biased. Ha! I got words for y'all. I ain't that doing. I ain't gonna stay quiet. I ain't
Well,
gonna
no,
eat.
listen,
I don't care
listen. At
what it
least he
is.
admits it. At least he admits it, so I can respect that. You know what I'm saying? It's not like Frontline is not telling you. He's only gonna go with Latin support. Okay, he's telling you. So what do you expect? Then you're gonna say, "Oh, you're gonna call him out on it. Call him out on what? He's standing on it. There's nothing to call out. Oh, you're
10
shocked
toes
because he
down.
told you? Because he told
10
you?
toes down.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like nah. But me, you know, I'm gonna pick who I think.
Tú te
And
viraste.
um,
Tú
and
te
that and that
viraste.
and that's that's the way it is. Nah, bro, you're not putting me in a box. You're not putting me in a box.
You in
No, you're
that box
not.
with Roach right now. You with Roach right
No, you're
now.
not.
Te
No, you're not. You know what I'm
viraste.
saying? Nope. Nope.
Cepeda whooped his ass.
Nah, nah, nah. I went for the Americans that night because of our thing, and and then you guys try to flip it into another thing. But I was just trying to show them support. But I told you what I really thought about Cepeda, and I told you. I told you he
Okay.
was gonna beat him.
See,
He was gonna beat
this
him.
is the difference though. You
See,
go
you guys are making it a
elsewhere.
race thing. You guys try to make it a race thing
No,
where
no,
it's like
it's
this,
not a
that.
racing.
Nah,
My
I'm
you
not
know
getting in
what
that box.
bothers me though? Go on other chats, platforms, and hey, clearly with a clear mind.
Yep.
But then you come on your platform, the one that counts the most,
No, it didn't.
your platform, and you freaking switched last minute. Yo, I'm gonna
Bro,
go with
bro,
Demerican. I'm gonna go with Roach,
bro. Check it out. Check it
and
out.
that's what you did. You went with
No, no,
Roach. You
no,
took
no.
that L with him.
You want that to be that case, right? But since I got proof that we always here at Round One Sports Talk try to keep it competitive. You guys know I rock with Puerto Rico and the US. For my Mexican people and things like that, we always taking different sides, right? So obviously, coming into my channel, I already assumed you guys knew what I said, what I went through, what it was. Suggesting competitive spirit. Okay, I got the US guy, and then I'm trying to hype him up, but it's not what I felt. It's not what I felt. I have no takes of me explaining that um this guy was going to beat him, William Cepeda. Lamont Roach was going to beat William Cepeda. I only have takes over and over and over on different shows and on my show leading to the fight how Cepeda was going to win. It didn't strike you odd at the last minute, last day, or was just at round one doing his little fucking competitive thing, knowing I was going to
Well,
lose
so
because
here's
US was
here.
going to be down bad. Because US was going to be down bad. So it's not like I could get on and tell Bobos, hey, let me take the Mexican dude when he knows, we got to take our side.
All right, but
So that's all I was doing.
here's what makes it bad, and I'm gonna tell you what. There's a lot of
Nothing makes
people.
it bad. You're
No, but
trying to make it
here,
bad.
no, hear me out. Though, hear me out. There's a lot of people in this chat that follow the boxing community as a
Yeah,
whole. They're
yeah,
subscribed to a lot of multiple channels. They watch a lot of content. So
yeah.
I'm the opposite. I'm not subscribed to a shitload of boxing content. I try to
Yeah,
minimize as much subscriptions as possible. So
it's a lot of word salad.
I don't follow a lot of them. But see, this wraps you up because you go on other platforms, you say certain things, and then you come here back to your channel, Round One Sports Talk. You flip.
Okay, check this out, right? First of all that beatando word, stop that, okay? We're not gonna play that here around one sports talk, all right? So you're gonna stop that shit right there, okay? And the next thing is, you see, frontline, when you're great, when you're great at something, you know what I'm saying? I see that people do listen to me. And that maybe if I did that or something like that, then they would see it that way. So yeah, I allowed you guys to see it, make it seem that way, but it wasn't my intentions. But now I see that, you know, they're all watching. They're all watching. And
They
one way or
definitely are.
another, you know what I'm saying? So listen, I think this, right? I think that the committee needs to come together right now and make a decision at the Round One Sports Talk channel. Chat, I'm going to need your help and your backing on this one because we're about to make a ruling. Yes or no? Should we strip Frontline from the belt because he has not been around to defend the Notre Dame world champion? And that's where the conversation is going right now. If you want him to be stripped, I need you to type in the chat stripped. If you want him to remain champion, because I don't think Frontline has defended the belt or he's been around. We
Well, there
wanted
hasn't
the
been any
Clarence.
fights. Hey,
No,
listen, if
so
y'all,
where are you
if,
at the Clarissa Shield fight? You
that's
know what
not a
I'm saying?
fight. That's
You
not a
should
real
you
fight.
should have
That's a
been there.
cherry pick.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I wasn't
if you
live streaming. I
guys,
was talking to you on the phone. But
I
still, it
know,
counts.
but listen, if y'all see a Mexico versus Puerto Rico last night on the Miguel Cotto Promotions on YouTube, the very first fight was a freaking banger. Two young kids coming up, um, dude.
Oh yeah, I gotta go see that.
Hey, Look, look at me. I said, no, 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 no strip. So
No
I
strip, no
got,
strip.
I got one in my favor. Hey, Adam
Come
Shelton,
on,
shout out
guys.
to him.
He needs to be stripped
He said,
from the belt.
he said your mic is way too low.
All right, look, I'm just gonna take these setting things off. I'm gonna
Mr.
take these setting
Miyagi
things
ain't
off right
shit.
here. What do you say?
Mr.
What do you say?
Miyagi is not shit. He said frontline himself out against his UK mandatory.
Mr. Miyagi, thank you, Mr. Miyagi. He priced himself out. Listen, the committee. I think we have spoken. We got enough evidence. I think we're gonna have to go. We're gonna have to trip him of the belt. Yeah, Mr. Miyagi, thank you.
No,
You
no,
know what
no,
I
no, no,
mean?
no,
Well,
no, no, no,
who
no,
do we
no.
have next weekend? Who's this weekend? Is Tio Rolly this weekend?
It's this
Yup.
weekend, yeah. So we're definitely gonna
Hell
do a
yeah!
fight party.
I
You
got
got to
I got
show up front
Tio.
Oh,
line. You got to defend the belt there.
you
You
know,
know what I'm saying?
Tio,
you
I
know who
got
I go. You know who I got.
Tio ninth round TKO.
Hold on.
Rolly's
Are
gonna
you
No,
are
no, no,
are
no, no,
are you
no, no.
firm on that, or is that subject to change, Fun Truck?
100%.
Are
Tio's
you
gonna stop
firm
him in the
or
ninth round. Firm,
so?
firm as can get.
You're that's it. You're so when come fight night, you're not gonna switch up.
Stop trying to
For the
push him
third
into
time
that. You know
today.
it's
For
subject
the
to
third time
change.
today,
Front
yes.
line.
Tio's gonna fucking make him quit in the ninth round. Hell yeah.
All right, write that down, Edwin. Fun Truck, ninth
Yeah,
round
yeah, yeah.
TKO.
No, no, no. I'm gonna. If the Frontline wants to change his mind on fight night, he can come and change his mind. You're not gonna push him into a corner. Frontline.
Hey.
Nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? When he comes on fight night, he can make his position. See,
Let's go.
front truck, Frontline is trying to fucking cheat you because he wants to stay with the title. You know what I'm saying? He's
Hmm.
trying
Nah,
to take everybody's prediction, and he's trying to. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, but wait a minute. You know, now I'm a bit confused right now on Frontline. I'm a
why?
little
What's up?
confused because of you making up with Tio in the breakup, and you found out that he finally fought a Puerto Rican and Shakur Stevenson. So now
Yeah.
you like Tio. Don't
Yes,
remember.
I
So
do.
now you were saying, "Oh, let me guess who I got in the fight." Right? And I'm sitting here saying, well, it can't be no more anyone that fights Tio because you don't hate him. So now I'm going to ask you
No,
again,
ask me.
who do you have in that fight?
I got
Who do you have
Rolly.
in the fight?
I
Oh
got Rolly.
hell no.
Wait,
Hell
wait, wait,
no.
wait,
Let me
wait.
break
Hold
this
on, hold
down.
on, hold on. Hear me
Is
out.
this
Hear me out.
subject
Hell
to
no.
change? Is this
No,
subject to
hear,
change?
hear me out. I got
It's
Rolly,
not. All
Rolly
right.
by split decision, and I'm gonna explain why I'm picking split.
Split
Because
decision.
yes, I'm gonna tell you why. Be gonna be an entertaining fight. I'm gonna tell you why though. Hold on, hear me out though. It's too much friendship. Those two, too much love going back and forth. That it's gonna be a good fight. They're gonna fight to entertain, but they're not gonna fight to hurt each other or nothing like that. Mark my words, that's what's gonna happen. So I see the champion, Rolly Rolando Romero, getting the champion's nod. That's
Okay, are you
what I
done?
hey,
Okay.
let me
Let me
address
rebuke that.
TKO real
Wait,
quick.
let me rebuke that, please, before you read the comments. Okay,
Go
check this
ahead.
out.
Go ahead.
In boxing, there's levels. You know when they say that there's levels to this sport. So Tio
I
has a bag.
agree. I
Let me finish, bro. Let
agree
me
a hundred
finish.
Frontline,
percent.
frontline. Let him finish. Frontline. Chill. Go
Come on,
ahead.
bro.
Go ahead, my
Go
bad.
ahead.
Go ahead, Fletcher.
So when there's levels, we talk about the bag of tools that they have. We talk about the angles, the way that they put the punches together. If they have snap, can they put combinations and to string them together? Um, and can they give their opponent different looks? Tio is a prodigy. We can't forget that this guy is not fucking super skilled to stand in the pocket with with Lomachenko and go toe to toe with him. He is gonna give a boxing clinic to Rolly, and it's like we've seen this before. If you look at the sparring that they had 6 or 7 years ago, it's gonna go exactly like that. You see all the different levels that Tio had right then and there. Tio made Arnold Barboza look like an amateur. There's never been a Rolly fight where he's overperformed, where he's looked like a fucking superb athlete. He won the belt having a lackluster performance against Ryan. Ryan wasn't performing at his normal level as well. And before that, he lost that last fight. So if you use recency bias, Tio looked good against Barboza and he got active with Shakur. Rolly hasn't fought in over a year, and his last fight was a dud with Ryan before that he lost. There's going to be levels to this game shown on Saturday, and Teal's going to stop him or make him quit in the 9th round. He's going to bend over.
All right, I'm
It's
gonna agree
super,
with
super
you.
easy.
I'm gonna agree
Go
with
ahead.
you on one thing, just one, just one, and that is that Tio definitely 100% has a tool bag with him. 100%, that's undeniable. But you're not taking in factor. Tio got dropped by Cambosis, who's not known as a puncher, and this was at 35. Rolly can crack, and it's at 47. He's been a crack his whole. Not, I don't mean it like that, but he's been cracking since since 35 all the way to 47,
So
which means his
he's also
power.
yo, he's also been sent through the ropes like Rey Mysterio 619, bro.
Oh, of
He's been
course,
flat on
yeah,
his
yeah.
back. He's been flat on his back before. That goes to show he was walked into those combinations. Do you see a smaller fighter in Tank? Tank is a smaller fighter. He can, but Rolly was just being in that one gear that he has and walking towards Tank. Tank set him up for that knockout and it was out the way. The other
Okay,
smaller fighter, hang on, the other smaller fighter who also knocked him out was Pitbull. Pitbull fucking was able to finish him, and
okay. You're talking about
Tio's a
two
smaller
fighters.
Tio's a smaller framed fighter that's super fast, bro.
You're
And
talking about
I
two
think
fighters that can crack. Tio left his power at
nah,
35. At
I don't think so.
40, at 40, who he knocked out? Pedro Campas, everybody's knockout partner.
Everybody's been on the
Outside
back
of
foot,
Pedro
bro.
Campas, who else has
Everybody
he knocked out?
they've been on
Nobody.
the back foot. They've been on the back foot, man.
What happened with Shakur? Shakur was in his face fight, lumped him up, didn't do nothing. He couldn't even get to
Hey,
him.
bro, that's the number one pound for pound fighter. Come on, you ain't no, is nobody gonna knock him out.
And then you talking to Pitbull. Pitbull crack. Pitbull's the name says it all. He's a little dude that comes forward, not
Uh
afraid
huh.
to get hit,
Uh huh.
and
Can you hear me,
and he
guys?
throws
I
his
cannot,
punches
but
from down bottom. Melasa, what up, huh? We got a full house today, huh?
Mr. Miyagi's in the building too.
He probably fell.
Nah, he's right there. Mr. Miyagi's
Nah,
there.
I think he fell asleep. You know, the UK. UK. He a little tired.
Oh, you gonna say something about the UK internet now? Hey, yo,
Yeah, the
listen,
UK
both of you
internet.
guys got some good points. Both of you guys got some good points about this Rolly shit and the TO shit, but I have to side with Fun Trunk on this one, Fun Line, because of the experience. I told you this and I said it numerous of times. That Rolly, even though in his development that he's getting better, he showed signs that he is being a better fighter. But shit, that was TO 6 years ago. Tio is far more advanced, further along in the sweet science. And I wanted to ask all four of you here that you guys got you here right now and everybody in the chat. Do you think that the relationship between Teofimo Lopez and Rolly is going to play a factor in this fight, in this matchup? How do you guys see it? Because, you know, Rolly was honest. He said, when I was down and out, Tio was the only person there for me. Came up with 5 grand, gave it to him, and like being buddies like that. I've seen two friends fight before. One of the best fights I ever seen at heavyweight was Andy the Destroyer Ruiz against Miller, Jarrell Miller, and they fought, and they were the best of friends, and that was a great fight. So, do you think it's gonna be like that kind of fight, or do you think it's gonna be like the fight like Sugar Ray Leonard and Wilfred Benitez, where he was dating his sister in a relationship with his sister, and he was fighting his brother-in-law. They were friends. Like, what do you guys think about this? If any of you guys want to start it
Short
off,
answer.
take it.
Short answer. No, I don't think it
Yep.
plays a factor. I think Tio's gonna whoop
Okay.
his ass. 9th round TKO.
Okay. Mr. Miyagi.
I can't trust Tio at all. But just going on pure skill, I would pick Tio. But I just got a feeling that Roddy's just gonna, mate. I
You
think
pick
you'll be
fights on
surprised by
emotion.
Roddy.
Is that an
Yeah,
emotional pick?
I think Rolly will just let his nuts hang in that fight. I think Tio will do the same thing he did The same thing he did in the Barbosa fight where he won't punch enough, but I think Rolly will just barrel forward on him. I really do.
Mm,
But
there's a
T.O.,
possibility.
the thing is, T.O.'s like hit and miss, isn't he? You don't like, since he moved to
Right.
140, he doesn't throw enough combination. That's why I was screaming when he was fighting Shakur. I was like,
Right.
he's just throwing like a jab, a right hand. Like, where's the combos and the follow ups? There's nothing.
Yeah.
Another
Well,
southpaw. He's difficult.
When he was fighting Shakur Stevenson, he was a little gun shy because Shakur would come over the top. Shakur was reading him, which kept Tio at a stalemate. That's why Tio didn't throw the combinations as much because of what Shakur was doing. He couldn't get away with it. Tio was trying to will himself in the fight. He was trying to like will himself, but Shakur wasn't staying still. He kept hopping around, and fidgeting, giving like these. He was using a lot of feints, and he was also like a lot faster than Tio. And that's what took that away from Tio. But Rolly's not that. So, Mr. Miyagi, you got a valid point where Tio's gonna let his hands go, but um, can Rolly bulldozer through that? Rolly's strong enough. Rolly's that type of fighter where that he's not gonna let Tio just get into a groove. I can see that. He's also paid the price for doing that as such. As far as the comment, somebody saying that he lost to Isa Pitbull Cruz. Listen, guys, I don't know why this is, but for some reason, uh, all my life I've saw this same problem. Bigger guys have a bad problem trying to fight short dudes. I don't know what it is. You put him in with a guy his size,
Smaller, faster
he's gonna
fighters.
he's gonna
Tank,
beat
Tank,
him up.
Tank and
It's
Pitbull were
just that,
smaller, faster fighters.
yeah, yeah. But it also salute, brother. Um, but I also see that, like, listen, Tank Davis had the same problem. Remember when Tank Davis fought Isa Pitbull Cruz? The key to success for Tank is that he's smaller. He can get underneath these guys and get underneath and hit with the uppercut. But for the first time in his professional career, he fought a guy that was actually shorter than him. He couldn't get underneath Isa Pitbull Cruz. And then you could see where Tank was ankles were off. He's trained to punch up, that he was punching up so much, he broke his hands on the forehead of Isa Pitbull Cruz because he couldn't adjust because he's trained to punch
Yeah.
up. So that's why Tank struggled against Isa. Now with Rolly and Isa, I feel it was the same thing. It's like that fly running around you, you're trying to swat it. And that fucking
Mm.
fly packs a wallop. And Isak fucking
But
caught him with them hooks, boom, and he had Rolly looking bad. He had Rolly looking like he was dancing like a stripper that was dancing over overtime because he needed the money. He had him, he was in there like this, like, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
bro, listen, he was whooping on him. So it's
not gonna
hard when
leave.
you see him get beat like that to think he can beat Teal. But let me tell you something, guys. When power and size comes to be one of the attributes, you can't count Rolly out. And Tio
A
hasn't
fact.
been cracking since 135. And he's going up a new weight division he's never fought in.
It's
Rolly's
Rolly Ray
been
And
there.
also,
Mysterio.
I
Rolly's been
forgot.
sent through the ropes.
Rolly also said he was feeling drained at 140 and 135. So that's for me. If we gonna give other fighters that they can't perform while feeling drained,
Mm-hmm.
not feeling comfortable at that weight, you for me. And he bouncing back. He bounced back a little better against mine. We can't even take that away.
Right.
Now, not saying that we are, but that's. I ain't gonna lie. This fight, I try to see who was gonna win, but it's so tough because I don't know what Tio we gonna get. And I know people say, "Oh, Tio and his father, they be going back at it. We don't know how Tio mental." Listen, we all gotta know fathers in the sport of boxing. There always been drama. I know we all remember Floyd Mayweather and Floyd Mayweather Senior was about to get it on and fight him.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't fought. You feel me? But the difference is Floyd had his uncle Roger, which is, you feel me, the middleman he knows how to control his brother, control the nephew. He's taking on that leader role that's like, I got this. You feel me? You feel me? I'll take over this and we'll work on this plan and keep pushing. You feel me? Roger was was a very key component, and I don't know who's Teal's Roger. You feel me? Who's Teal's Roger? Like who's the middleman that could control the pops
You don't need
and could
one.
get Teal to
You
listen to
don't
him?
need one.
That's what Teal needs.
Eh.
You said
I
what?
don't know
Is
if
that
Teal's ever had any real world class training, and I think that's his Achilles heel.
Train.
I think that Teofimo Lopez, my opinion, he's gotten here off of talent.
who's Vasily
Everything that
Lomachenko's Roger?
Well, no,
he's a
he trained
talented
with Fernando
fighter.
Vargas. He trained with Fernando Vargas.
Yeah, but it never consistent. It's like he doesn't have like imagine Teofimo Lopez with like a world class trainer that fits him like a Ronnie Shields
He would be
or
an animal. He would
he
be an
would be an
animal.
animal. He would have
Now
gave a
Hmm.
way better fight because
now
Teal's really fighting off talent.
Hmm.
I agree with what
Yeah, we
Mr.
could say that
Miyagi
because I
statement.
say
Mr. Miyagi said that
Teal.
he can't go for Teal because he don't know what Teal's going to show up. I agree with that
Hmm.
statement a
I agree with
hundred
him.
percent.
I
That's
agree
a
with Mr.
fact.
Miyagi with that because we don't know
Now,
this. And then where's
That's
the
a
power? Go ahead, frontline.
if we get the Teal that showed up against Sloma, the Teal that showed up against
yeah. That's what I was about to. Hmm.
what's his name at 40
Josh
Josh
Taylor.
Taylor.
Josh Taylor.
If
Yeah.
we get that Teal's a problem to beat. But if we
Believe it or not, bro, that Teal is good for sure. That was a good Teal too, but I still feel there was flaws in there that other fighters, good boxers, would be able to
Yeah, but
capitalize on.
Rolly's
To
not
be honest,
that. He's
Yeah,
not that
exactly.
counter puncher. He's
he,
not that. He's not
Thank
that
you.
boxer. He's not that reader. He's
Thank
just
you.
that come
do
forward
you
He's
feel?
got
power
one
and
gear.
aggression.
He's got
He's
one
got
Do
gear.
one
we
gear.
feel that?
Yeah.
He's
Do we feel
gonna
like
come in.
that
Yeah, yeah,
Steve
yeah,
Claggett?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If Steve
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Claggett,
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah, yeah.
Steve Claggett could have touched Teal, I feel like if Steve Claggett could touch Teal and lump up his face, I feel like Teal could. I mean, Rolly could do the same because it's like Teal gotta come in. He
And
gotta cross that line of fire to
Rolly's been
touch
walked into
Rolly.
knockout, it can happen
Teal has to
again.
come in. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Shakur, he has a reach advantage over Teal. His reach is longer, so Shakur could throw the jab, and Teal got to really double and triple the jab to even try to come in against Shakur. But not Shakur. Shakur could throw the jab and catch, and Teal's reach is not long enough. So it's like he has to come in against Rolly. And if coming in against Rolly just gonna nah, but vice versa. It's gonna be a good
hey,
fight
hey
though, man.
give me a
This is a
minute. I'm gonna hop
super
back on.
super
I'm about to
fight.
go eat real quick.
Yes. Yeah, but I got to admit, right? If we was to look at both fighters' resume, let's look at Teofimo Lopez's resume and Rolly's resume. Okay. Um, Tank, you got Tank on one for Rolly. You got a Tank Davis fight. Okay, I'll give you that. But
And people said they was winning rounds, bro.
and he was
They
winning
said
rounds,
Rolly
but
was winning
everybody
rounds
wins
again.
rounds against Tank. He was down on the scorecards in the Mario
Why?
Barrio
Because
fight.
he's smaller.
You know, he
Set
was
you
down
He's
on
up.
the
smaller.
scorecard.
Set you
So,
up.
but the thing is this: I got to admit, Teal got the way better resume. He fought the way better caliber of fighter. What this Rolly got? Ismail Baranchek, Baroza, Ismail
He lost
Baroza.
that fight.
And he lost that fight.
Barroso,
And he lost, but they stopped it. We all saw the controversy in that fight. And it's just like Teal's fought a lot better. Like fought Sandor Martin.
damn.
He fought
Ron, you just made me think of the. I know we can't compare Pitbull to Teal, but the pressure though, it's like you kind of could like you kind of could like at least like because Teal's gonna try to pressure. He has to.
yeah, and look,
But you just made me think about that.
yeah,
I ain't gonna lie.
look. Teal fought some good guys, and the Josh Taylor fight. Somebody mentioned that. He had situations where he had movers like Jermaine Ortiz. Jermaine Ortiz utilized
Hmm.
his feet. And Teal had to solve that problem. He's been in different situations. He had Arnold Barboza. Arnold Barboza, he fought Jack Catterall, which is a patient fighter, a real patient type fighter. He's a tricky fighter. Jack Catterall is underrated in my eyes. I think he's a
No, yeah,
lot
for sure.
better than what people think. So, like, Teos has solved these problems. That's what I'm trying to say. As far as the
Yeah,
the sweet science, the boxing, um, remember that fight with I think it was Sandemar, or was it Campos? I think it was Campos, where
it's
he punched the dude's bicep to shorten his jab so that his
yeah, it's
punch
Campo.
missed Teal's face by like
Hmm.
centimeters. Then Teal fucking set him up. Yo, that was a beautiful setup. The way
gonna
I
happen. It's
was.
gonna
Teal,
happen
I
again.
was.
yo, the
You
way
know one
Teal
thing.
read that, if you get sloppy, Rolly, and you come over with the same jab, or you start doing the same thing against Teal, you notice how Shakur fought him. Shakur started switching it up, switching the angle, switching the movement, switching the placement. Shakur never stopped moving. That's how you beat
Facts.
Teal. You think that Rolly got Shakur Stevenson feet? Like he's gonna
Nah,
come
hell no.
forward. So yo, listen, if his chin holds up and Teal's pop is really not there at 147 and he left it at 130, Teal's in trouble. He's in for a long
135,
night.
135.
He's
Yeah,
if
Edwin,
he
Edwin.
can't
Now,
get it. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Miyagi.
But I've got to counter that, and this is
Okay.
something that I don't think we're realizing. Even though Ryan looked terrible in that fight, his hand speed was still there.
mm-hmm.
And was
Yep.
he touching?
Oh.
He
And he
wasn't
caught
really.
Rolly.
He wasn't touching Rolly like that though, was he? Rolly's
Now
got
he was,
underrated.
bro. Actually,
Mate, he's got
literally
underrated
when he got
carrying.
dropped, literally when Ryan got dropped, as soon as he came back up, you gotta watch it in slow motion though. He caught Rolly with a left hook right there, boom. But Rolly, he ate it. He ate it and he kept, he like, okay, he settled down. Literally right when he got dropped, he tried to press Ryan, got caught with a good check left hook, boom. And then Rolly like just, okay, let me just stay more patient, let me be more patient. You feel me? I, even though, yeah, man, that those are fights that'll prepare you, but still, Tio, he has a good arsenal. He has a good arsenal,
All right, let's let's
and it's not again.
let's concentrate on what we know about these fighters, and in particular from other fighters. Now I have seen an interview. I went and I found the interview and I saw it where Tank Davis himself said Rolly is the hardest puncher to ever hit him. It's Rolly. He said no fighter
He
I've ever
literally,
fought hit me harder than Rolly. When Rolly hit Ryan, it made Ryan gun shy, right? Ryan wasn't no more engaging. That
two
speed,
devastating
that
punches.
that 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 speed and everything, Ryan didn't want to test the waters no more. He felt the power. He felt the power.
Yeah,
Now, look, and then we're gonna add another thing into the equation. I said this about Tank Davis and Lamont Roach, and I try to tell the world Lamont Roach is good, but he's not that good. The reason why he looked good against Tank is because he sparred against him. He knew Tank's mannerisms. He knew things about Tank other fighters were never privileged to. They would have to find that out on the fight night, right? But Lamont
yeah,
Roach was ahead of the curve. Okay,
yeah. Lamar
so
said he had all the videos from
so
the
so so
from
he
fighting.
so check this out. So check this out. How many times you think Rolly sparred against Teal and Teal sparred against him throughout their career? A lot,
A lot,
a lot.
a lot.
This girl comes in, is going to come in. Teal can be good, but there are things that Rolly knows about him and he knows about Rolly. They're
Rolly.
going to get to the fight pretty fast. It was, how that
Yeah,
Tank and Lamont got right to it, and it was competitive right away. It wasn't like Lamont was
facts.
struggling. He needed to come back. He was dancing with Tank from the first round, no matter what you think about the fight. I'm going to tell you, when you spar that much against a guy, you're going to know things about that. There's this tales about guys that things we've done since the amateurs, we're still doing in the pros. We divert right back to that old bad behavior or that pattern. And you sparring
A
against a
fact.
guy, you know what that is. So
No, that's 100%
it's
fact.
going to come into the fact of the fight said that it's going to be a tricky fight. It's going to be a tricky fight. I like both fighters, bro. I like may the best man win. I don't know. I'm going to take Teal's experience, his resume, what
Yeah,
boxing has taught me, and I'm just not going to go and say on a whim. I'm going to go with boxing, what boxing taught me, and boxing taught me Teal should win this fight. Now, we all love an
fact.
upset, right? And this is
Now
boxing.
I got a draw.
So, yeah, I think it's going to the scorecards. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
Teal
No,
hasn't shown me any punching power up there. Not unless this miraculous power just shows up. Um, we're probably going to the scorecards. Yeah, in fact,
Wow.
yeah, on that one.
Yeah, the kid and Tio can't afford to get stopped for real. He cannot afford to get stopped. But that was one thing I was also gonna ask you, Ron, because I'm a big Tio fan as well, and I always, I like to hear him speak on how he prepares and stuff. But he always say he doesn't really have much sparring partners when he prepares for certain fighters. Like when he talked about the Jermaine Ortiz, he said he sparred with like two guys.
Mm,
And who are them guys? Like who? Like that. So that's like where Tio, it kind of like I'm not sure if I would want to like make a prediction on you or what, because you do got the skills, you got the talent. You feel me? We know you can fight. You can fight. That's clear, flat, cleared out, flat. You can fight. But are you preparing how you should be preparing for this opponent? Because
yeah.
Rolly's like found a new life. He's speaking about God. Man, it's hard to be a God fearing man. Shit.
Hmm.
It's hard to be only a God fearing man. He don't fear nobody else but God, and that was supposed to be your big bro. Ah man, shit.
Yeah. Well, you don't
That
want
y'all
to know.
been spoiled, y'all been for, and Rolly has gotten better.
Right, right. You know what my only problem with that is that you can see Teal's situation unfold in the last couple of fights
Mm-hmm.
when he was going around. He even went to Eddie Reynosa, and Eddie Reynosa had to come out publicly and said, "I don't got time to train you." And then he was with like
Yeah,
Mayweather, and he was like over here, and then you saw like the
and,
boxing
and
world
that would.
blackball Tio, and they closed the doors on him because of with the
Mm-hmm.
antics and everything that was going out. And I think everything got blown way out of proportion. But
Yeah, shit.
but
Yeah,
but
it's a fact.
that's what Tio was going through. So when I saw that, and then I saw his inability to keep it together against a real skilled fighter like Shakur Stevenson. Like Shakur Stevenson had him getting out of position, lifting his back leg. He even had Teal doing some amateur stuff because he didn't have answers for that. He didn't have a world
Yeah,
class coach to mold him through that part and put it all
that's a
together for
fact.
him. So I really wish that Teal settled down somewhere and stuff. I think that Teal has to make a real bold decision to save himself. Listen, your father brought you all this way. I understand that dad could always be in your corner, but it seems like that, the story's always the same between you, your dad, and another coach. The dad always coming in and interrupting the training. No, I want it done like this. No, I want this. He doesn't let go and let Tio be coached. And
Yeah.
and the thing is that, look, I'm never gonna preach that, but if your father doesn't recognize that he brought you as farther he can take you, and you're gonna need something else, then the son's gonna have to make the decision. Brian Norman Jr. He had to make a decision
100%.
that his father took him as far as he can go, and it's not that I don't love you, but you're not gonna let me allow me to be me because you're not gonna release the helm. You say, yeah, go ahead, train with this guy. And when I get back, you want to bring me back in the garage and say, no, do this, do this. And you're starting to take away everything he taught me. And you're going back and trying to recreate and make me back the fighter you. So why did I just go train with this guy? So so you got to believe in the system. You got to believe in your coaching. And as a fighter, you got to full-heartedly believe in his training. You can't have two
No,
trainers.
no, you.
You go train with him at 6, and then at 8 o'clock you train with your dad. You can't do that because the two
Right.
styles are you're not going to absorb anything. So
Literally.
so that's what happens in a lot of these situations. And some of the sons, like Floyd Mayweather, like Oscar De La Hoya, like they had to get away from their dad in order to be great.
Yeah, I did hear about Oscar De La Hoya story after his mom passed away. I hear it was kind of tough
No, but his
the way his
Oscar's dad
father.
was no that out of all the dads that ever like Floyd Mayweather's father was really strict. He was like a drill sergeant, right? He was really like if Floyd would do like a fucked up jab, he would smack Floyd in the back of the head in the
Now,
gym,
hell yeah. I,
right?
I was gonna tell you to watch the Andre Ward and Jay Prince interview. I think you're gonna learn a lot about Floyd and why Shakur and all of them move the way they do,
Well,
and
like
you're gonna see a
no,
lot,
no,
bro.
I know a lot about Floyd. He's not on the back of my wall for a mistake. I know a lot about him. Now, like his dad was like really, really tough with him, but there was no dad, in my opinion, the worse than Oscar's dad. Oscar's
Mm-hmm.
dad wanted full control. He wanted to act like he was fighting in the ring. Like after his son fought, literally, bro, I say this jokingly, but I think he wanted to sleep with the women before Oscar and then say, Oscar, now you can sleep with them. Like that's all he needed to do. He controlled Oscar's media, where he went, his money. Oscar wasn't allowed to touch his money. His father took it all. Um, Everything. Like all the interviews, he was in it. After the fight, in the ring, everything. He
No.
was just damn them sirens are going off back there. I can hear that shit. We
Oh, my bad, my
yeah.
bad.
So like Oscar's dad was like really, really in your face. He was like Devin Haney's father times 10. I remember back then, he was like that kind of dad. And Oscar just had enough. Actually, Oscar was the world champion of the world and he had a curfew at the time, I remember. And a lot of Mexican dudes was making fun of him because of that. I remember I was mad young too. And I was watching this. And he was literally the champion of the world, and his father had a curfew for him. He went back to the hotel, and the father stood in front of the cameras with all the women and all the liquor and everything. He was up in there spending Oscar's money type shit. He was like,
That should be.
nah, he was like really lit, but he made Oscar that kind of fighter though. And then when you look at what
Mm-hmm.
Oscar did with it, you're like, fuck. You know, you can't argue with the results, but maybe you were just crossing a line. At least Bill, Bill talks a lot of shit for
Nah,
Devin.
yeah, he was forging him. He was forging him. Like that's like a forging, so you can endure pain.
Yeah,
Nothing. Not saying it's a good way, but it's sad that that's the way they like. When I hear about Virgil's dad today, every boxer is great. Every great boxer, they always tell their story of how the parent would have to be really tough on them,
right,
because you have to.
right.
You have to. You taking punches. You can't. And even when you feel like you want to quit, you can't, because it's like you're gonna regret that moment the rest of your life,
You
probably.
want
You
to
feel me?
know the
So.
difference between the upbringing of Floyd Mayweather and the upbringing of Oscar De La Hoya and his father? You want to know the key difference and where Oscar's dad went wrong and Mayweather's father went right, but in the end, it was ultimately up to them. Here, I said all of that to say this. Okay, this is where a good kid gets lost. Oscar De La Hoya's father was a drill sergeant on his career, and he kept him away from everything. But the problem by sheltering your kid and not showing what the world and everybody does after 12 o'clock in the parties, if you don't show them that, somebody else will. As soon as
Mhm.
Oscar De La Hoya got away from his father, the world swallows him up. They had him
Mhm.
photographed in fucking panties and stockings, and cocaine's a hell of a drug. I understand you had a great night, Oscar. But now the difference is this.
Wow.
Mayweather's father was bagging it up right there on the counter, and I'm not going to say that that was a good thing, but he didn't
Mm.
protect Mayweather from it. He instead taught him about it. Mayweather's mother herself was an addict. That Mayweather's father got shot in the leg over Mayweather's mom's his uncle shot him in the leg. And then Roger Mayweather having his problem with drugs and his father going to drugs for drug dealing, then leaving him with Roger. Well, and then Roger left him with the coach, and then the coach brought him back to Roger, and etc. But the difference between their upbringing was Mayweather lived in the mud and they taught him about it. So by the time he got up to the lamp, like he knew cocaine, no bueno. That is no good. Drinking is no good. He played the part, but at least when he got there, the world didn't swallow him up. A lot of good parents, I teach, take this away from their kids and they think that they're giving them a great upbringing. Sometimes you got to let the little dude, nah, step back, honey. Let's see what he does. And you got to explain things to your kids because if you don't, someone else will. And all of a sudden, Oscar got away from his father, and Las Vegas swallowed him up. Them prostitutes,
100%.
that cocaine, everything, they came in. Hey, Oscar, look, do this.
Yes.
And dad wasn't there to say no. And all of a sudden, photographs, he
Yeah.
fell for all that okey doke because Oscar wasn't built like that.
Yeah.
But you
And,
can't, you're not gonna fool Floyd
no, yeah, that's a
because
fact.
he beat with the rap. And I'm not saying the style. There was another way you could have showed little Floyd about that without bagging it up on the kitchen table. That was a
Yeah.
little extreme. Okay. I'm not telling you to bag up drugs in front of your kid. What I'm telling you is not not to hide that from them. Not to protect your daughters, protect your sons. Tell them, no, this is what they do with it. This is what it is. Show them, you know what I'm saying? They probably know more than you. But if you protect them from that world and you keep saying no, 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 like this, listen, sometimes I understood why my father uh let me handle some of my situations now, without getting in debt or whatever or judgmental. But
Mm.
my father, he told me I had to be a man and I needed to fix my problem. That I couldn't come home and get my older brother or call him. That if this is what it was, well, then go take care of that. So I thought he was an asshole for that because I was like, Dad, did I not tell you 3 kids jumped me? He says, Yeah, I heard you. Go take care of it. I'm like, can I get my brother to come with me? Some of my cousins? Nope. Nope. And
Nah,
shit.
it'll make you tougher though. It'll make you because it won't make you hide like feel like you gotta hide behind other
Nah,
people.
man. What he made me was think. What I actually ended up doing was I couldn't win. I
Nah,
couldn't beat
yeah,
all 3 of them. So I sat there and I watched them until they split up and I watched one walk home and I called him.
yeah. Oh, calculator. You was more
Yeah,
calculated.
what it made me do was he said, figure it out.
He was
Later,
more
I whooped
calculated.
that kid's ass myself. He was running. He was scared as shit. I punch him all types in the face. I remember that shit. And when I got home, like, what'd you do? I said, well, I couldn't. And he goes, good man. And but did you get one? Yup, I got that one. And maybe tomorrow I'll get the other one or whatever. But I didn't run from the fight.
Yeah.
And later on in life, that's what I said. When I first said it, I said, now I understand why he did that.
Nah, that's a
You know,
hundred.
you know
That's
what I'm saying? And I understood why he did some things, why he let me struggle sometimes. One time we were on the boat. True story, I swear to God, this happened. He's on the boat, and I got an electric motor for him, for his boat, for the thing. So my dad gets a bright idea. He said, let's put the battery in it. We'll just connect it on. He wanted to go fishing so bad. He didn't professionally connect it into the boat. He just took the wires, put it in, put the battery flat inside the boat, connected it. The shit turned on. We took off to the middle of the lake. We in the lake, we fishing. The whole time we fishing, we got fish. We having a good time. We got some good fish too. We got some big ones. So we got the bucket filled, the cooler, and he's like, it's time to go to shore. He left it turned on, connected. The entire time we were fishing, the battery drained. It died. When we were trying to turn the fucking motor on, we're in the middle of the lake. Bro, he's like,
nah.
he
That's
said,
learning experience.
he said, what you gonna do, son? Bro, I had to tie a rope around my waist. I dived in the water and I swam to shore with the boat strapped around my waist.
Yo,
I
it's
brought him and the little boat to shore. And I did
yeah.
it. And I did it. And I did it because my father was watching. And you better believe I did it on one try.
Nah,
The
that's
lake
hard.
wasn't that huge, but it wasn't like I was swimming and I stopped and I breathed. That wouldn't have been good enough. I did it in one shot. Once I put the rope around my waist, I dove in the water and I started swimming. I didn't stop until I got to the shore.
Mm.
It wasn't tough. It wasn't like tough neither. And he asked me. He was like, Did it feel like the boat? Bro, I barely felt the boat. I barely felt you and the boat, to tell you the truth, because the water was helping me. And when I was just moving like this, I was just moving, and it just felt like a small pool, but it probably looked worser. Like, look at this guy, he's strong as shit. But to keep it 100, it really didn't feel. Or maybe I was just that young. Maybe
Nah,
I
I
was
feel
just
you.
young, fucking strong, like a fucking ox back then. But I, that's exactly what I did. When fucking dad, your dads, you're always trying to impress them. You know
Nah,
what I
that's a
mean? Like, I got into boxing. Like, I come from a boxing family, right? First of all. And my dad never brought me to the gym. You got to understand that.
ooh, that's pain right there. That would have got me hot.
He said I was too pretty. He said, you're my good looking son. You're not a fighter. That's what he told me. That's what made me a like that's why I won the most trophies out of me and all my brothers. That's why I won the most events. I won the Golden Gloves. That's why because it made me fight harder. He
But
never viewed me as a fighter like that. So so he would say, tell me. So what are you gonna do? Pretty boy like type shit. And I just be like, and then like Bay, that's my brother's name. I fucking said his name. He was the power puncher, the one punch knockout artist. He was born with the gift from the gods. My brother had a fucking right hand like a mule. He was 13 years old. He knocked out a 35-year-old guy in a convenience store one time, protecting me and my friend. And the
mm,
dude fucking started yelling at me. And my brother said, stop yelling at my brother. And he went to push my brother like that. My brother hit him. And my brother was 13. He knocked him out cold. The dude was snoring. That's when I knew right there my brother could punch at 13. I was like, fucking, if he was 13, I was 11. He's
mm.
2 years older than me. And like, he was the fighter. He
Nah,
was
that's
the
what's up.
fighter. He's always been fighting. But and then that's you see that's the thing about dads, right? Like, but in the end, I guess my dad really only wanted the best for me. We lived in a harsh environment, I would say. I was born in Newark, New Jersey, in the North End. So I was raised there until I was like 13. And then like my dad just saw it like it's a dog eat dog world. And if you ain't built for this, or like decide what are you going to do, and I think it was always left like that, decide what you're going to do, and it's just harsh lessons, things like that. You can misunderstand things. I was mad at my dad for a very long time until I understood him. I understood that, why am I mad at my dad? This is not an act, this is who you are. And if anybody in the world can get my pass, it's you, dad. And then like he's real stubborn and real, he'll say some real disrespectful shit, but I let it roll off my shoulder because, you know, maybe his dad didn't love him enough, you know? And like I look at him and I say to myself, you little stubborn Puerto Rican old man, like uh I love you, you know what I'm saying? Because you taught me a lot of things. And even though a lot of those lessons were harsh, and I'm talking harsh, right? Um, it made me a better person in a lot of different ways. And I couldn't read him for a long time until I finally came around and I was like, yo, dad, what can I do for you? How much of a better son I could be for you. And even though I was a better son, he was no better of an asshole to me. You think it changed? No, it didn't. But I still, it allowed me to spend time with him before he passed away. You know what I mean? And then when he passed away, I felt a little bit better about it, because I was able to have a relationship with him a little bit. Because I was that stubborn teen. Fuck you, dad. You weren't there for me. You left mom, blah, 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 this, that, and third. Then you realize how tough it is for a man and how men never get the credit that we really get. Like mom gets everything on her birthday and Mother's Day, and we get the short end of the stick sometimes as dads. But Then I understood him as a man. Then I went through life. Then I saw him. Then then I started like, but not all dad and son relationships are the best. I see these boxers all the time. Oscar had his. Floyd was always so much a competitor. Him and his dad couldn't even fucking talk sometime in a room because there was just two boxing egos, two boxing minds just clashing all the time, and they just wanted to outdo each other in everything, you know. And it's weird to find men like that and to see people like that. I've heard stories about Michael Jordan, okay, playing some teammate's mom in a card game while cheating in the card game to win. Michael cheating the dude's mom to win the game. He's so he doesn't want to say he loses at anything. So if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how these guys think. That's their mindset. Like Tom Brady's not letting his mom shoot a layup next to him. No, get that shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? And then he started in her face. You know, that would be funny to see, right? I say that jokingly. You know, I think he would. Tom's, I don't know. I'm not sure. Tom's crazy. He's a competitor. He's really, when it comes to that competitive shit, oh God, he won't let you throw a rock further than him. Um, it's just those kind of guys. I've met that men like that. And yeah, man, you know, but it's just interesting to talk about these situations, these relationships with boxers. And don't get me wrong, if you heard anything today, I preach family unity. It's a beauty to see father and sons come up, train together, get it along. Doesn't always work for all of them, but when it does work, you know, listen, if that's your son, if that's your little boy, and you drove him to the boys club or to the YMCA or to the boxing gym for all those years, and you were dedicated yourself to learning the craft, and you started and winning with him, why would I let my son go with anybody else and they make money off my kid? And for as harsh as that sounds, if anybody's gonna make anything, it would be me, his dad, the guy that gave him life. You know, but you gotta be right about this. If you weren't a boxing dad or anything, you didn't know what you might want to get your kids some real help, some real training. I would suggest that. Don't take a chance. But Jerron Boots Ennis and his dad, Bozy, and Bozy dedicated his life to boxing and to training and to finding out the fine arts. He doesn't have it all. You could see where Bozy as his coaching, where his flaws are, because he lets his son's movement be like that for this many years. But they're gambling on each other. They're winning to win and lose. Naoya Inoue's father, Shingo, what was he at best? An amateur boxer? He wasn't no coach. For him to make that fighter right there, Jesus, he had to give his self to boxing as a coach. And he had a lot to learn, and he learned it, and he taught it to Naoya Inoue. But Shingo wasn't no coach. It wasn't like he came from. He was an amateur boxer with a couple of fights that gave up his job to run a cleaning business, a laundry service for his two boys. But he made it Inoue. So, you know, it's a tricky thing, man. It's a tricky thing. What's up, Miss Miyagi?
Yeah, funny you should bring up Shingo because I was just thinking earlier you were saying about T.O. getting coaching. It would never happen, but I think him learning some of the Japanese regimented mid and long range fighting style would actually do him a world of good because he's got the athleticism and the explosiveness to pull off that sort of style. And I believe he could learn the footwork, but he just has to be super disciplined with it.
What is the video you guys are talking about? I agree, bull. Another lie, and then the other guy saying, what's going on here? What are we talking about? What did I miss? Nobody is safe with if you talk and don't perform video. Okay, but where's the video? Where's the video? They're asking, where's the video? Depending on Rolly weight cut, I got him knocking out T.O. Mm, you know, it stays. Look, I saw how big Rolly was against Ryan, and I saw how big Ryan was against Devin. What won that fight wasn't skills against Devin. It was size and power. Little speed, okay, speed kills, right? But it wasn't like this dominating speed for 12 rounds like he was just pegging Devin. Like Ryan actually fought trashy in that fight. He would take breaks in between rounds, turn his back to Devin. He would be less engaged. He would take a lot of space. And then when he decided to punch, he would just punch strong and go forward. Ryan. Then when I saw him fight Rolly, I saw the tail of the tape reverse. I saw Rolly being the stronger puncher, the guy going forward, and I saw Ryan retreating more. So you might be right, man. Rolly might be too big, too powerful for Tio. Tio might have his moments. He might be able to pop off some combinations, but like a Terminator, I think Rolly's going to go forward. And the reason why I asked you guys this earlier on the show, whether you think that their relationship is going to play a part, the relationship they have between Rolly and Tio, was it going to play a part in their fight? And the reason why I asked that is because I feel that Rolly doesn't have that sense. He doesn't have that connection. He doesn't have that, oh, let me show you mercy. I think Rolly is that kind of fighter that he'll go out there, give you his best, beat you up, and then take you to dinner and joke with you, but like he has no problem giving you 100%. Like he's like that. Now Tio, on the other hand, he has a heart. He's a guy that is like you. He's a guy that's like he's a tough guy, but you can see he has an emotional side to him. Tio. Tio, on the other hand, he'll let the friendship come in the fight. I think, but as far as Rolly, I think he has that thing where he's like, man, I could turn that shit off. I'm going in there and fucking TO up. And I think he'll try to do just that. So, yeah. Give me the ziti, the meal. All right. All right, I got you. All right, I agree. Rolly, look, so look, I I think that their relationship and ultimately won't play a factor. Rolly definitely ain't giving up his belt. He's just not gonna give up the belt. He understands when he had the belt, he lost it, got it again, got back in position again in the second division. He understands what that's like. All the friends, everybody starts leaving the party when you're not the champion anymore. And Rolly was by himself for a little while. Then he won the belt, then the people came back. Then he lost it, they went away again. Then he went and fought Ryan, and he was in the cab crying. Crying. His career was hanging on a thread. Remember, Rolly was the sacrificial lamb to Ryan to set up the Ryan Garcia fight versus Devin. Rolly was never supposed to win that fight. He was just a name Turkey got, said a goofy guy, Ryan, go knock this guy out. Devin did his part. He beat up Jose, and Ryan all he had to do was beat Rolly. That's why we're here. You know, Rolly is always going to be a competitor, and he understands that losing the belt, Ryan didn't get all that status and everything until what? Until he won the belt. Until he won that belt. So he's not going to give it to Tio. I don't believe that. He's going to fight Tio the best of his ability. And whatever that is, we'll see on fight night. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Edwin,
Yeah.
did you see
Yep.
the what fight was it? It was a WBC world title fight on that Clarissa Shields card. got
The
disqualified for excessive holding. I
no, I didn't
forget
see
the.
that fight.
Oh, what was the girl's name? I watched. I must have. I must have fallen asleep just before the DQ.
Oh yeah.
But she got 2 points taken off her. Got
You seen
warnings,
you
and
seen
then
on really? I didn't see that fight. I got it on because I pay for the zone.
have
So
it,
all the
and
fights,
I think
huh?
her name begins with a T. I
With a
can't
T.
remember the name of. Yeah.
If it's on the card, I can just rewind it because any fight that's already passed this year on the zone, that I've already bought and shit, I can go back and watch it. That's the cool thing with the zone package. So, like I've been going back and watching fights and shit and stuff. Did you see last night the zone PR team fumble the bag there and they made Clarissa Shields 24 years old?
Yeah, I
Huh?
see. I see you short. I saw you short on it. I didn't see the ring walks or anything for the Shields fight because I had
Oh
to
yeah.
catch the highlights because I fell asleep.
Look at her. Look at her.
But
She's 24 years old. The other girl's 42. Look, and you see the zone. It says there's a zone symbol in the corner. Oh, sorry. That's the actual like I'm streaming it from the zone pay-per-view channel, the app. That's them. The guy asked me, where did you get this information from? I'm like, bro, I'm watching the fight. I just took my phone and I videoed it. They had her down as 24 years old. And I was like, well, it could be a simple human error. The lady's 42. They were probably 42 and I don't know, somehow made it 24. If you can buy that, okay? But when you got people, what about the fans that are just coming in to meet Clarissa now? This is the first time they've ever seen Clarissa Shields fight. And they come into the zone, they're watching the fight, and they see, lo and behold, Clarissa Shields, 24. It says it right there. That's what that
yeah,
says. Now, why don't we go pick up our app, put some money on it? Because Clarissa's 24 years old. This lady's an old lady, but it's not like it would have made any difference. We all thought Clarissa was going to win anyway. So that's why I think it was more of a more technical than more militia. You know what I'm saying? Malicious. So I think it was just somebody fucked up. But hey, for as much shit as they give me for fucking up people's names and shit, you could see the pros. Everybody messes up, okay, damn it? You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know
yeah.
that obviously had to be a mistake.
I have noticed since the Zone's done obviously their ultimate package and stuff like that, and they're really getting out the pay-per-views. I've noticed their production has got so much worse,
Oh,
so
listen, they
much
had
worse.
Terrence Crawford as Kendrick Lamar. Remember?
Well, do you know? I think, well, to be fair, I'll be fair to the Zone. It's not just them because it was like that TNT card where they had
Yes.
Terence Crawford commentating, and he was basically muted.
Oh
He
shit,
he was
yeah.
muted. I'm just like, what is going on? Like what is happening with all these broadcasting things? Like,
Wow, that's
where's
much more than that I can remember. Yeah. Wow, so the zone has been like I have to fire somebody down there or something. Do something. I don't know. Like, how much longer are you gonna have like these kind of errors or mistakes? I mean, look, to tell you the truth, it was nothing that Clarissa Shields to me because I know she's 31. You understand? For me, it didn't mean anything, but I found it humorous that I was like, wow, man, this is the zone we're talking about, right? A top streaming company of in the world right now. You probably for boxing, as far as pertaining to boxing, you guys are like you guys corner the market. You think you would have your shit together. The main event, maybe if you fucked up somebody's age at the prelims, a very terribly unknown fighter, you don't know much about them, you fuck up their age. The main event, the actual main event, UFC, what they had, Shakur Stevenson as a basketball player, at the UFC fight match, and they showed Shakur Stevenson. They showed a basketball player's name, and Terrence Crawford was sitting in the crowd at another event for the TKO there, and they had him Kendrick Lamar. I was like, damn, Kendrick Lamar is tough as shit. Look at him. He's a 3 division world champion. like, like shit. But look, man. Uh, I don't know what to think about that with the Clarissa thing. I want to just think that it was just a simple error. It was a simple mistake. And it goes to show you that even some of the big time shows fumble some certain situations. We're not all perfect. And I hope that it wasn't with no intent or malice. And somebody came up with a bright idea and said, you know what? Why don't we make you 24 years old? That would be really stupid. Why would you do that? Right? So I don't know. But anyway, it was funny. It was funny. Rolly super champion.
Fucking hell.
Fucking Richard. Richard, what he saying? Rolly Ramirez is going to beat TO by decision, no TKO. The fight. Yeah, it's not a big fight that a lot of us believe that somebody's gonna be stopped. This is boxing though. The potential of a stoppage between these two men is there. Rolly is a big puncher. Rolly can punch, and Tito can evade. Tito gets clipped, goes on stanky legs. Rolly's gonna attack him. I think Rolly's gonna attack. He's not gonna let him off the hook like Devin Haney did with Brian Norman Jr. I don't think so. I think he'll be a bit more patient. I saw Rolly's patient in the other fight, but he did admit that in the Ryan fight, the reason why he had his hand up is because his shoulder was hurting so much. And the only way he can get the pain to subside was because he kept his hand up. I said that was a sign from the gods. The boxing gods made your shoulder hurt so that you keep your hand up to Ryan's check hook. And he countered Ryan's check hook. But Rolly, once again, he later went on and said and revealed that in fact his shoulder hurted so much, but in this position he felt nothing. That what a coincidence. Like the gods did, no matter what you did with your hand, it hurt it the whole time. The only way the pain goes away, right there, blocking defense for the fight. And it fucking saved them, okay? So, you know, um, hey, look, man, I don't know what you guys think or who you have in the fight. I enjoyed to watching a fight next Saturday. So tune in here at Round One Sports TV. Please do me a favor if you like the video, you like the vibe, you like the flow of the show. Help your brother out. Hit that like button for me. Yo, Mr. Miyagi, thank you for coming by today. It's always a pleasure. I'm gonna wrap this show up right here. I gotta go eat and also pick up the food for the rest of the family because, as you can see, they come in and ask me, what do I want to eat? I tell them what I want to eat, and on their way out, they said, because you got to go get it. That's why they set me up. See, had I said, no, I don't want nothing to eat, then everybody else in the house, they got to go get it, right? But they go and get, you see, Miss Miyagi, I got set up again. Once again, I fell for the okie doke. A father's job is never done. Listen, Miss Miyagi, thank you for stopping by, man, brother. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Of
my
course,
pleasure.
I hope you stop by in the fights or the next day to hear Frontline's excuse of why he's such a loser, okay? Right? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Mr. Miyagi, just tell him the truth. UK judging and fishing is the best judging and fishing in the world. Okay? And he
Absolutely.
needs to get, yeah. Hey, yo, I bet you Frontline tries to run up here right now. I got to hang up.
Yeah.
I got to hang up because he's going to run up here. Hey, yo, fight fans, thank you for tuning in. God bless. Family first. And I'll see you guys on the next one after this one here at Round One Sports Talk.